their name out in L.A.
Oh, no.
To oh my God, what was it? Now I'm having another high moment. To like
this is what it was like in your head.
Yeah, I can't even remember now. But they had to change it to like Garlic Pete's.
Garlic Pete's.
Yeah, like you've got to change Tomato Joe's and they go Garlic Pete's.
Yeah, Garlic Pete's.
Yeah.
God, Pete
That
smells
was a
bad.
lot funny when I heard it last night.
Yeah. LT's Edible Moment, brought to you by the people that can also help your eyesight. That's our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, 205-969 for glaucoma, right?
That's right.
969-8100, that is the number you need to call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They are going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mort Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
And our final thought today is private equity and the Big Ten. Big Ten Enterprises is being proposed to the member institutions, 18 of them. And this could be, what's 10-figure amount of money? Each school could get a 10-figure amount of money if this deal goes through instantly.
That's
$1 billion.
That's $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each school could get $1 billion?
Yeah, 10-figure amount. Big Ten Enterprises is being proposed. Right now, it looks like Michigan and Ohio State could be pushing back on it, though. They want this to be unanimous. It would be an instant $2 billion cash investment from a group of private equity folks who would buy a share of the Big Ten. They would divide it into 20 shares, 18 schools, the Big Ten office, and the investor. And they would work on developing business and doing everything but running the league. The league would still be in charge of, like, you know, the rules, officiating, putting on the event. They would just handle the business side of it, the private equity. This seems like something that we will eventually get to, though the Big Ten and the SEC will probably be the last to do it, I would think. But they're at least batting it around. It looks like Michigan and Ohio State are going to be the roadblocks to
Because
this,
they're probably saying, let's talk about who deserves what in this deal. The whole reason they want it is because of our brands.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The Big Ten Enterprises, the private equity folks, would be the ones that would negotiate future TV contracts, ticketing, all of that. They would sort of become in charge of that. There is one upside to this, according to the folks at The Athletic who are reporting on this, that if this does go through, it likely keeps a super league from ever happening.
Oh.
You know, there's been that talk of the SEC and the Big Ten basically having a super league. Well, this would prevent that from happening most likely, because if they go this route, the grant of rights that the current Big Ten folks would have to sign away would last through 2046. That's a long time. We'll see what happens on that, and if any other conferences try to follow suit in the private equity world. We're going to try to make you a little cash on the other side. If you just hang right here, you don't have to change streams or go anywhere. We're about to do our big MyBookie pick show for the week, both college and the NFL, so don't go anywhere. But as far as the next round is concerned, God bless you and God bless America.
Through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the next round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659 777-7777 or go to shannara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Halfway to 1,100 shows, 1050 today, and it's a football Friday. We'll get to our college football, our pick 3, which is up and running right now at nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com. You can play it all the way for the next 26 hours up to the kickoff at 11 o'clock tomorrow of college football. It's brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings and Breakline. You can go there right now. Nextroundlive.com. Play the games. If you haven't played yet, it doesn't matter. You just got to go 3-0 one time to get into the big drawing at the end of the year for the grand prize. The more times you go 3-0, I've done it once. I haven't done it twice. I've been 1-2 every time since. Only need 1 3-0 to get into the big drawing at the end of the year. Go right now, nextroundlive.com. Don't forget the last call with Mick Gillespie and Jake Coker a couple of times a week. Post game this weekend. Set your alerts. They're on this platform now. Mick and Jake are at Next Round Live on YouTube and all the other platforms. The last call. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Tyler Brooks, and Forrester behind the big glass back there. We'll get to our picks coming up in the Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3. But as our friend Sally once said, sorry for your loss, LT.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, I told you guys a couple of weeks ago one of the toughest regular season losses was that Philadelphia loss. But after the fact, you sit there and you look, defending champions, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in all of the NFL. It was on the road, back-to-back blocked field goals, flukish. I don't know if it could get any more fluke last night. So if you're a college football fan and you've got a team that's a 7 to 10 point favorite tomorrow or moving forward any other weekend, and you wonder, how can we lose this game? Well, this is how you can lose to an inferior team. When you have a team go out there with a backup field goal kicker and he makes a 59-yarder, when you get an extra point blocked, when you miss a 53-yarder, when you fumble on the goal line, when you fumble another one on the 24, when a backup quarterback has a career game, a guy that's been in the league for 4 years now, an absolute career game. That was 2020 Mac Jones.
Yep. Did Herb Street ever point that out last night?
Oh my, Herb Street was licking him up and down. I mean, that was I was getting texts from people that I haven't talked to in years. Like, this has got to be driving you mad listening to Herb Street nonstop.
Yeah. I didn't know this until this morning. Mac Jones currently leads the NFL in passing. 301 yards a game.
That's pretty crazy.
He's 3-0.
Yeah.
I mean, people in the chat room are like, Brock Purdy may never be seen again.
Well, this is the guy Kyle Shanahan wanted to draft,
exactly.
right?
When they went Trey Lance,
and,
right?
you know, John Lynch down on the sideline, blah, blah, blah. Look, they were down 7 starters. I give them a ton of credit, man. They were physical last night. Kendrick Bourne was amazing. Mac Jones, if you go back, and he would have been drafted in 2020 or 2021, I mean, he might be on a Hall of Fame projection. I mean, when you look at the money they're paying Brock Purdy, and they pointed this out, $41 million this year, but $50 million plus for the next 4 years after that. And Mac Jones is making $3.5 million.
Yeah. And by the way, nobody will bail him out of that contract.
No.
They won't be able to find a Jared Goff Lions taker for Brock Purdy because he doesn't have Jared Goff's talent.
Yeah, look, I you never pull for a player to get injured, but when Mac went down, I was like, you take the rest of the night off. Let's bring Adrian Martinez.
You were okay with Adrian
Birmingham
Martinez?
Stallion coming in, and you saw his eyes. They were wide as saucers.
Did you see how happy he was when Mac walked on the sidelines? He was like, all right.
But, I mean, you guys, look, and
they told me this was going to be an easy paycheck. I didn't know I had to go in.
I loved the 4th down call. Not the call. I love going for it on 4th down.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, if it's 4th and 5 and overtime, then, play for the field goal. Tie's better than the loss. And, maybe you get that first turnover of the night. We have the Rams a 4th and short problem. And this is the 3rd time they've been stopped this year.
So what for those that missed it, what play they run?
They just handed it to Skyron Williams,
right stuff.
Two gap and got stuff.
The guy who had fumbled one other time, right?
Oh, yeah. And Kyron, second most touchdowns from scrimmage over the last 2 yards or 2 years in all of the NFL. He's been great.
So what you're saying is the great play caller Sean McVay, Ryan Grubb had a better short yardage late game play last week on the road at
Yes.
Georgia, which is what you guys should have done, by the way.
And Mike Bobo didn't. No, I
mean,
really did think
a little pass out.
I thought they would leave it in Matt Stafford's hands.
How do you not?
Yeah, look, and I understood, trying to draw them off sides on the first, and you call the timeout. But when you come back, and Herb Street pointed out, this is what you get paid the big dollars for if you're Sean McVay, but also Matt Stafford and Puka. Like, if you get it around Puka, he's going to make the catch. He is right now the most reliable receiver on the planet. Not even close. But that was just a flukish game, and give San Francisco a lot of credit. But that's one of those games that I don't know how coaches do this. I swear to God, and this is bad. And again, I need a hobby. Because I woke up 4 or 5 times last night, and all I could think about was the Kyron Williams fumble going into the end zone.
What about archery? You think you would like archery?
I did it as a kid.
Did you
I
really?
did.
Maybe
West
try to
Homewood
revisit
Park,
that.
Me and older brother Shane Taylor. I enjoyed archery.
How much stuff could you sell on Etsy though? Because how much Rams gear do you have right now? Because
I got a ton.
You have you've
ton.
restocked a whole lot of new stuff this year, right? That's a new hat right there.
Yeah, it's a new hat. I mean, this was actually a Christmas gift for a girlfriend for Maddie.
Yeah.
And when it got in, I was like, damn, that thing pops. I was like,
You bought that for Maddie and you decided to wear it?
I was like, I'll wear it. I mean, she can still keep it. But,
That's right.
Yeah. But back to the point. Like, if this is a Sunday game, then you're kind of like, okay, we're rolling into the week. We can talk about the next game. Now you got
all weekend. That's the problem with Thursday night football if you lose.
And I guarantee you what's going to happen. Cooper Rush is getting the start for Baltimore this week.
Yep.
I think Baltimore still will beat Houston with Cooper Rush. It's going to be a really good game. But then next week, I bet Lamar will come back for the home game against the Rams. So get 11 days to soak in this loss, and then you go play a very, very desperate caged animal in the Baltimore Ravens. And all of a sudden, this team that looked so great 3 weeks ago that blew a lead to Philadelphia is going to be 3-3.
Lest I get accused of licking Mac Jones up and down.
You guys will get me. It was nonstop.
I mean, Herb Street talked a lot about it. So here's my frustration with that broadcast crew. I love me some Herb Street. Al Michaels tries to pretend like college football doesn't exist.
You're right.
He's so snooty about college football.
He is. And look, and he's
it's a running joke, Joe, that he has to do so much work. So now what do you have to do now?
Al Michaels.
Where are you flying to this weekend?
Yeah, it was really awkward when they first started the broadcast together.
Yes.
And I'm talking about, when was that? Last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I think it was. And he would be like, where are you off to this weekend, Kirk? Oh, we're going to College Station. Oh, I'll let you have that. I mean, just so, mightier, you're doing, Al Michaels has had a Hall of Fame career, but you're doing the worst job in the NFL broadcast. You've got the Thursday night streaming game. You're barely in the business at this point.
No,
100%. You're barely in the business at this point.
If you want to see the worst job in the NFL, it's whoever's in the Superdome on Sunday with the Giants and Saints.
The Fox broadcast.
I mean, that guy at least gets a New York market.
That's right.
Whoever is assigned to do
Dolphins, Carolina's pretty bad.
Whoever's assigned to do the 2 games this year, Saints Panthers, in the Charlotte New Orleans market. The only place those 2 games will be seen is in small market New Orleans, small market Charlotte.
It's what they used to call the milk game.
I mean, there's a chance that me doing Vestavia Rebel High School football tonight, that I'm somewhere in case of emergency for that game, I'm on that call list, and I'm horrible at play-by-play because that's the worst job.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some bad crews.
And look, Al is one of the greatest to ever do it. I think the fastball has really sizzled down a little bit.
Yeah.
There were a lot of miscues last night, and look, I hope I'm alive at Al's age. I do think that he still does look down his nose at college football, and it's almost like
he used to do college football.
I know.
He
That's
loved
what
it.
makes it so confusing.
He
The way he
looks
acts.
down his nose at traveling to those games. That Herb Street's travel
he
schedule.
acts like he doesn't know. Like if Alabama Georgia came up. Oh, was that a good game this weekend, Herbie? Oh yeah, Alabama. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's almost if a women's basketball coach took over a men's program, they would never get respect, and it's almost like he doesn't give Herb Street the respect he deserves.
Yep.
But after Herb Street licking Mac up and down last
You're okay
night,
with it?
yeah, I'm kind of need a pass.
So
for a
at
little bit.
risk of getting that label from Lance, let me just say this. You got to respect the heck out of Mac Jones' toughness last night.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was beaten and battered. And Herb Street said it, part of his licking. He said it. He was like, I can tell you because I watched this at Alabama, you will have to drag Mac Jones out of this stadium.
Well, and I thought they were going to drag him. I mean, some of the hits from Byron Young and Jared Verse.
That one to the helmet was pretty vicious. I thought.
I'm pulling for Mac. Like, I hate that he's with San Francisco now because I think he can have and they brought up Baker Mayfield. I think you could have a Baker Mayfield-like resurgence in this offense because Kyle Shanahan, you know, if it ain't Sean McVay, it's Kyle Shanahan or Kevin O'Connell. Those guys are the best play callers out there. And McVay has a Kyle Shanahan problem. Now 7-11 against Kyle Shanahan, and he just knows how to dial them up, man. And I give Mac a lot of credit because Mac was spot on last night and even had a couple of drops.
They let him throw the ball 49 times. 33 of 49 last night.
Well, they weren't running it, though. I mean, McCaffrey, 22 carries, 57 yards. Rams did everything they needed to do to stop the run. That's what's baffling. Like, if you played that game again 10 times, I don't think Mac could be that good.
Well, that's frustrating, isn't it? When you think,
no, it really is.
I know, it's super frustrating.
And then Kendrick Bourne, 142 yards.
I know. Yeah, good to have him in DraftKings.
And how does Pinero, a guy that was cut multiple times, make a 59-yard field goal, and we can't make an extra point?
Yeah, when you miss an extra point, you're always like, well, that's going to come back to haunt us. You don't miss extra points, especially in the NFL.
That's the fourth blocked extra point or field goal this year for the Rams. That's a problem, right?
Yeah, that's a line problem, I think.
Yeah.
That was one reason why. Now, I'm okay with McVay going for the fourth down simply because Ty is only marginally better than a loss.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
It's a little bit better. So I'm okay with him going for the win there. But I think part of it had to be him thinking, my God, we've had so many kicks blocked. I really can't put it in their hands.
Yeah,
probably at the end of the game.
Mac has got in the worst. That's a joke suit that he's wearing, right?
I mean, so I saw our buddy Connor O'Gara like, I am pulling hard for Mac Jones. But for a backup to wear that suit to the post game is a bold move.
Look, I know he's only making $3.5 million. He needs a stylist.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Well,
That's
I think he has one. It was the guy that
Ronnie Millsap.
It was the guy who did the wardrobe for one of the Batman movies, and this was one of the
Two-Face.
This was exactly.
Well, they call him the Joker. Yeah. Is that not a Joker?
Yeah, very Joker-esque. Yeah. If it was green and black, it would work out great.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a storyline moving forward because I don't know if it was Al or Kirk said, hey, look, we've got I think it was Al. We got a quarterback controversy now, and I think it's legitimate. Yeah. Like, you hate that you're going to pay this money to Brock Purdy, but if Mac Jones can play like that, that's going to be your starting quarterback moving forward.
Yeah, he's 3-0. Now, what's really crazy is Cam Newton right now is criticizing Mac Jones' outfit on First Take.
I'm not kidding.
Which, by the way,
if you gave me a choice, now Ryan Clark's really bad too. Yeah. If you gave me a choice, Cam or I think I would go Cam unless you let me just dye the rest of the suit either red or black.
Yeah. Oh, there is Scott with a photo of the Mac Jones.
Yeah. Oh, no. I don't think it's a bad look. I don't think it's a bad look.
You don't think that's a bad look?
I'd wear that 100%. I'd put socks on, but I wear that 100% before I'd wear what Cam Newton's wearing. Cam Newton's dressed in layers like he's about to go sign the Declaration of Independence
he's in Atlanta
with a hat.
Mac just screams. I mean, at least Cam's got a weird style. It's like maybe appeals to the 1% out there. What Mac has got there is I mean,
I would wear that.
That should be illegal. He should be ticketed for that.
I'd wear that to a club in Vegas or to play poker somewhere. I mean, that's not horrible. All right, that's 13 minutes of Ram talk. Do we need to go more?
No,
you got it all
man.
out?
I'm going to try to bring the energy today, but I am just defeated. This is why I guess fans get so upset in college football, because when you lose a game in college football, it's obviously a lot more important than the NFL. And I understand these fan bases wearing this. I just don't know how coaches do it, especially in the NFL, because all these games are one possession. I mean, they are just the stress that it puts on a coach for every game to come down to one possession. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to get a lot of those this weekend in college football.
We got one possession weekend from Lance.
We've got 30 or so great sponsors we want to tell you about. And one of them, before LT tells you about our friends at Fractional Finance, I want to tell you about the great folks at the Pants Store. I don't think you can get Ram gear there, but if you are an Alabama or an Auburn fan listening to us, you can get polos and hats and quarter zips and a lot more. Famous name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like the Pants Store. Great folks there. Huntsville and Auburn and Tuscaloosa, all over Birmingham. And listen, no matter where you're watching or listening, you don't have to be anywhere within driving distance of the Pants Store. They'll ship anywhere. Pantstore.com, pantstore.com. They've got those great name brands, and they've got the white sneakers, the fall boots, the rompers, and the dresses for the ladies out there. And the holidays are coming, so free alterations, free gift wrapping right there. Pantstore.com, pantstore.com, and our friends at Fractional Financing.
Yeah, you've heard us talk about these guys. If you have a small to mid-sized business in Alabama, in Georgia, East Tennessee, or the Carolinas, you're looking for a CFO service designed for businesses that need expertise, call our friend Rod Smallwood at Fractional Financial. Rod and his team provide expertise in these categories: cash management, budgets and projections, accounting, payroll, annual reports. Fractional Financial does it all. Not your typical contract CFO service. Fractional Financial works with clients face-to-face so they can make informed, data-driven decisions to get their businesses to the next level. Contact Rod and his great team today, 704-614-2083. That's 704-614-2083, or visit them at fractionalfinancial.net.
Hey, we got fall break coming up for a lot of our students in our listening area next week. How are their grades right now? You want to give a little motivation? Money motivates a lot of people, right? Smart grades deserve smart rewards. Central State Bank knows that, so they're helping young achievers both make good grades and learn some financial responsibility. Open a Young Savers account today, and when those report cards roll in, just send it on over to Central State Bank. Your student can earn up to $10 for A's and B's. It is banking that celebrates hard work and builds lifelong habits. Family-owned, community-focused, Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, and remember, next Friday, we're down in Auburn. So if you watch us or listen to us in the Auburn area, or if you're going to be in town for the Georgia-Auburn game, next Friday with our friends at Bud Light on the road in Auburn.
We'll
Friday.
Be at Sky Bar from 11 to 2 next Friday. So the show... our 9 o'clock kick will go to 11 o'clock to give the kids a little more time to get out of bed.
So 11 to 2 at Sky Bar next
idea.
week.
Yeah.
All right. We will get to our pick 3 and break down these games in a deep fashion in our next segment. Furman with us at 10 o'clock. Good game tonight. West Virginia, BYU, 9:30 ESPN, some other college football happening. But as I try to do now on Fridays, I've got 6 player props for us right here. So we'll get deep into the game. So let's focus on just these player props right here. Let's go Tuscaloosa first. Diego Pavia's longest run from scrimmage, 18.5 yards, over under. Diego Pavia's longest run from scrimmage.
I would probably take the over. I don't know what it was last year's game, but Alabama is susceptible to the big run. Their defense is, so I think I'd probably take the over 18.5.
I'd take the under here.
Why is that, LT?
I don't. Has he had any 20-yard rushes this year?
Let me check.
I'm sure
Let me check on Diego here. Lance.
That's an explosive run for a quarterback. I don't think Alabama's had an 18.5-yard rush from anyone this year.
Yeah, now that I would believe, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take the under here.
Yeah, I'm going back to the game last year for Diego Pavia. His longest run from scrimmage was just 12 yards. In fact, nobody in the Vandy team, Cedric Alexander had a 13-yard run. Pavia and Newberry each had 12-yard runs last year.
Yeah, 18.5 is a big number.
Pavia is averaging, I'll have to, I think I can pull up long runs here.
He's probably averaging 3.5 yards a carry, 4 yards.
It's a little higher than that right now. Pavia is averaging 6.13 rushing. On just under 10 attempts a game. So you do the math there, right at 60 yards a game, 58 technically yards a game. That's what he's averaging rushing. I was going to see if I could pull up his situational stats here to see if I've got explosive.
He's 8th in the country in passing efficiency. He's billed as a dual threat guy, but doesn't really run as much as some of the dual threat guys that have hit Alabama over the head. Though last year he ran for 56 yards. Remember, in college, some of those get taken off when you get sacked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll tell you what's interesting with him, as I look at his situational stats here, the vast majority of his runs are first and second down runs. Not a whole lot of flush third down runs for him. He's only had 5 third down runs this year.
Yeah. So everybody's going under on Diego Pavia's longest run, 18.5.
I went over, but now that I think through it a moment, I'd like to change my answer.
Yeah, I have no problem you changing the answer. Feels like Bray Hubbard could be pretty big and keeping an eye on Diego Pavia, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like the guy that would be coming up and laying the wood?
Yeah, and Bray has been absolutely great. At least the effort and the energy and even the production. I mean, it's like 9 or 10 tackles a game since that Florida State loss, since he was called out and called himself out and took responsibility. I think he's played great.
Yeah, he's a guy that's played with his hair on fire, created that fumble for Georgia deep in their territory, which led to Alabama's 3 points there in the game last week. So, yeah, Bray Hubbard, since he called his own self out, has had a tremendous run.
Yeah, he would definitely lay the wood in that situation with Bray Hubbard and make sure Diego Pavia maybe gets canceled coming up tomorrow. All right, one other in that game. Jeremy Bernard, over under 61.5 receiving yards.
Well, I think Jeremy is over 61.
Yeah, I'd put that on the wish list.
Yeah, I'll take Jerem over.
Yeah, I would lean that this game, I don't know if it plays to 75 points like it did last year, but I think there's going to be some points scored. And, he's just so involved in the offense, so many different facets. So I would go over that number as well.
Yeah, I definitely on the wish list of Bernard having a big game. Feel like Ryan Williams, if he had a big game, because he's one of those guys that could get a 75-yarder like that. I don't feel like Jeremy is the deep threat.
Yeah,
Ryan Williams
was that receiving yards you gave us there?
61.5 receiving yards.
Because his total yards now all of a sudden are a conversation because he's running the ball and throwing the ball and catching the ball. He's doing all aspects.
Getting
now.
3 or 4 runs a game. More on Vandy and Alabama throughout the show as we go. To the Texas-Florida game, if I put Arch Manning's passing yards at 212.5 in this game. 212.5 for Arch Manning.
I'm going to play the over based on this. Florida's defense is really good. And I know we're going to get to where this number is sitting right now in Las Vegas. But it looks like C.J. Baxter is going to be out. It looks like Wisner might be out. They might be down to 3rd, 4th-string running backs. So I don't know if you, first of all, if you can be effective with those guys. Second, can those guys hold on to the football? So I think coming off a bye, I think there's going to be some wrinkles in this offense, so I would go over that number.
He went over that number twice, or he has gone over that number twice already this year against San Jose State and Sam Houston State, well under it against Ohio State and UTEP. So, it's the old coin flip there. I would
6, 7.
say, yes. I would say I am going to go over that number because of what Lance just said.
Okay, all right. That line's moved a lot.
It's moved a lot.
Yeah, and we'll talk lines in our pick 3 coming up. But give us a little teaser. Why has that line moved so much? It is not on my board, I will tell you that.
Well, the only thing I can figure out, Brown talked about, I don't want to get suckered into Florida again. And I said, well, if I play this, it's going to be Florida because I've been suckered into them. But the number was 7 or 7.5 yesterday. It is all the way down to 4 in some spots and 4.5. I know Malik Muhammad, one of your starting corners, is out for Texas. That would not move it at all. I think with the combination of Baxter, who is doubtful, and Wisner, who is questionable, if both those guys were out, I think it could move it like 1.5 possibly. But I think this is just a lot of money coming on Florida. And I think a lot of the so-called sharps out there are looking at Arch Manning making his first road start in the SEC against a really difficult defense. I think there's a lot of people that think Florida's a live dog in this spot. Wins the game outright.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Boy, that'd be such a bad loss for Texas.
It'd be a terrible loss.
Yeah.
I mean, in the preseason, it didn't look as bad, but the way you've seen Florida play now, you'd be like, boy.
Yeah, but I agree with what Dunaway kind of brought up yesterday. Like, this is Florida's last rallying cry. And you just hope, if you're a Florida fan, that other fans show up, and the Swamp has kind of that electric atmosphere that, for a 2:30 kick could be really good if you're all in. It's Texas. I guess they've never seen that brand in the Swamp. So maybe there's something to that and seeing Arch Manning.
Yeah.
But, I think it is kind of a last hurrah, because if they lose this game, season is completely flushed.
Yes.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, and we saw it happen at Bryant-Denny Stadium when Texas came to town and beat Nick Saban in Alabama, Texas brought a lot of fans.
Yeah.
And they bought a lot of expensive lower bowl seats at Bryant-Denny Stadium. You could see them having not Tennessee at Mississippi State like takeover, which was almost embarrassing, but there'll be a lot of Texas fans in the Swamp. Their first trip ever there, it's in the SEC. That's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, no,
and they haven't played a meaningful game in a month.
Yeah, they really haven't.
Yeah.
But I mean, this game is, it is so massive. But I think now we're in Sam Pittman territory. And what I mean by that, if Napier and Florida go out tomorrow and they get beat by 14 plus, there's a good chance Sunday morning he's gone.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have this conversation at this time next week when we're talking about Hugh Freeze and Auburn hosting Georgia. I really believe if Hugh gets embarrassed against Georgia coming off a bye, I think he's done.
Interesting. Well, I'd like to come back to that. I was just going to, real quick, with Florida and Texas. Somebody said check the weather. 65% chance of thunderstorms in that game, so we've got a delay possibility.
Well, I was on with our friend Chip yesterday, and he said that there are a lot of Texas fans that have made the decision, not a lot, but there are some that were like, we don't want to deal with the weather.
Yeah.
Because this has been on their literal radar
right?
for a while.
And here's the concerning thing, throwing the football, 28% or 28 mile per hour winds.
Yeah.
So it's going to be windy and potentially wet. So not having a running game for Texas would be a massive factor there.
3 more of these to get to, but let me remind you, our friend Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing do not want you to worry about over and unders on props. Don't worry about what's over your head, the old roof there. It's so important. He'll get up there and give you a free no-cost roof inspection. That's where Greg wants to meet you first, is that free no-cost roof inspection. He doesn't want to diagnose something over the phone, doesn't want to fly a drone over your house. He wants to literally get on top of your house and give your roof a good inspection. When's the last time you had that happen? Greg will do it for free with no obligation, 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. And what you're going to find when you meet Greg is you're going to want this guy to be part of your life from now on. You're going to want him to be the guy that takes care of your roof forever. He and his wife own this company. They're locally owned, so they're not going anywhere. They back up their work. They've been locally owned for over 20 years at Storm Restoration Roofing. He does full roof replacements. He does roofing repairs, storm damage repairs. He's got financing options. He's A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and he's great with insurance providers. You don't need anything more than that, right? Other than a kind face and a nice heart, and that's what Greg has. 205-542-3531. Or Greg from Pell City. You can reach out to him on Facebook there as well. Florida State and Miami and Tallahassee. Thomas Castellanos, rushing yards. Count the sacks now. The rushing yards, 69.5 over under.
I am going to go over here. Look, Miami's rush defense, real deal. Only giving up 76 yards per game. But if Florida State has any shot in this game, Castellanos it's gonna have to be good Tommy. Can't be bad Tommy in this one.
He is 17th in the ACC in rushing. I mean, through 4 games as a quarterback to be 17th, top 20 in your league in rushing.
I mean, that is
because of the minus yards you get as a
exactly.
I mean, that is somewhat surprising, but when you look at Florida State overall what Gus Malzahn's trying to do, I mean, they are trying to take the manhood from people. I mean, second rushing right now, 336 yards per game for this Seminole offense.
Only behind Navy, only behind the service academy.
Probably needs Sawchuck to have a big game there as well in that one. In that same game, Carson Beck, 227.5 passing yards. How would you go there? I'm under that. I think Mario Cristobal plays this one close to the vest.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's under that. If that goes over, I mean, if Carson Beck comes out and has a 300-yard game, this could be – it's going to be kind of weird because, like, if Alabama goes out and beats Vanderbilt like I think they're going to, and Florida State loses by maybe double digits to Miami, it's just going to be one of those, like, Florida State's improved, but how did Alabama lose that game in the fashion they lost it?
Yeah, 243 a game is his season average. So that would be slightly below his season average. And Florida State showed some susceptibility to the pass against Virginia. I think I might go slightly over your number.
Slightly over.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, he was like 160 when he played Florida.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was a game that also close to the vest. Florida, much better defense than Florida State. And one more, Rocco Beck, Iowa State at Cincinnati. Rocco Beck passing yards, 212.5.
So to put that in perspective, Lance, his
it's about average for him.
His season average is 220.
Chase Sowell last week, big breakout game.
Yeah, I think I would play the over here.
Yeah.
You know, I had a feel for Cincinnati. I don't know about this game now. This game's gotten tough. I do think the cornerbacks for the Cyclones, both those guys being out, could be a problem because Sorsby's
been good. Yeah.
Big, but they looked really good at Arizona. Iowa State did. All right, we'll get into those those games, some trap games out there for some playoff contenders and everything else in our Pick 3 coming up in our next segment. And then Todd Fuhrman from Vegas to start hour number 2. Our Bojangles tender moment of the day, Brownie. Let's get to that.
Bojangles can be your tailgate provider for Friday night football or Saturday football. They can also cater those watch parties at your house. So if you're headed to the stadium or just hanging around watching, let Bojangles make it bow time for you. Those great hand-breaded tenders with the great dipping sauces that go with them. They're always right there at Bojangles and ready and waiting for you. So this football weekend or anytime, make Bojangles your football destination and make it bow time.
We lost a good friend and a really, really great man at what he does yesterday, as word comes out from NASCAR in Talladega that Grant Lynch passed away. As NASCAR writes, his leadership, vision, and larger-than-life personality helped make Talladega Superspeedway one of the most iconic and fan-friendly venues in all of motorsports. His famous phrase was, "This is more than a race. This is Talladega," and that will last forever. This is Talladega. You see Grant there in some great pictures at the raceway that he didn't build, but he helped modernize it and bring it back to life after a couple of years where maybe the Talladega experience had gotten a little out of whack. Grant made it fun again.
Yeah, such a nice guy. I remember him coming in studio multiple times with us when we were terrestrial radio over at Jocks. I remember him drinking a little moonshine.
Oh, yeah, he'd bring the moonshine with him, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he I guess he made his own, I can say that.
Yeah.
He loved to make his own moonshine.
But then they ended up with a track sponsorship out of it. He became so known. I think it's Old Smoky Moonshine, I believe, was the track sponsor for a minute there.
Yeah, his apple pie was really good. That's him and the late Bobby Allison there as they were redoing the old Victory Lane and the rebuild there. Just a really, really creative, fun guy who knew how to enjoy life a little bit. So when you get a second this weekend, and maybe you watch the playoff race or any of that, or when you go to Talladega again, Grant Lynch, remember him and his family as in that long bill hat that he had. It was iconic. Grant Lynch, one of a kind, many great years, 25 years there at the Talladega Superspeedway, and we appreciate him so much. If you want to go to Talladega, you can do that through our friends at the Talladega Superspeedway. I'm sure they'll have a little way to honor Grant,
no doubt,
this year for the race coming up in October.
Track is what it is because of guys like Grant Lynch, and I say it all the time, and Grant's one reason why. If you have never been to the race at Talladega and you've lived here for any amount of time, you're cheating yourself. It is an incredible show every single time. And it's coming back 2 weeks from today is when the Yellowwood 500 weekend starts at Talladega Superspeedway. You can be part of it by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA or visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. The racing every single day, the garage experience presented by Cool Ray is the most immersive in all of NASCAR. And right there in the infield Saturday night, you'll get Whiskey Myers' phenomenal country act that will be the infield concert. Your ticket will get you into that concert. Just everything I'm talking about, you can see at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. And you can reserve your spot there in the grandstand, in the infield, in the camping area, the garage experience, all of that. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the next round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the next round. Pick three coming up in just a second. Lance has locks for you tonight. Then baseball and football all weekend long. College at lanceslock.com. Brought to you by Hemp Hill.
Yeah, lanceslock.com. Free play every single day. Coming off a 1-1 last night. So 4-4 on the week. Been a little up, down, but was a great September. We will continue to roll this weekend. We have got 3 plays in college football up and available for you tonight. Jump on board. Free play every single day at lanceslog.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Connor O'Gara recommends bread making to you. Bread making for a hobby.
Boy, that bread making seems like a pain in the ass. I love bread, but I sure don't want to make it.
Yeah. One thing we're going to run into with these hobbies is Lance is
it takes you're looking for something to take up your time.
Yeah, but you got to have a little passion for it. If it's going to take your time up.
Yeah.
Sourdough bread. It's a big long hobby.
Uh-huh.
I've seen a lot of people get into making their own mead.
Mead?
Yeah, like wine made from honey and other fruits.
It's too easy to buy good wine.
Again, we're going to run into a lot of roadblocks.
I'm trying to give you something to do.
Okay.
Our show also brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Brandy, tell us about some of the lines today.
Well, we had the big move. We'll talk to Fuhrman about that. But right now, in case you missed it earlier, Florida and Texas, that line has been on the move overnight, down as low in some places as 4.5. Playing at 5.5 right there at mybookie.ag, and that is the place you can go right now and use code next round. You play Alabama, it had jumped up to 11. It's back down to 10.5 now. Code next round, when you sign up at mybookie.ag, code next round gives you the bet back bonus up to $500. $500 is the bet back bonus you can get. So basically, you make your first play there. Up to $500. If you lose, whatever you lose, up to $500, they put it right back into your account at mybookie.ag, and you can play with it right away again. Mybookie.ag, code next round. Mybookie.ag, code next round to get that. And don't forget their casino area. It is big. It is fun. You can play that anytime, but especially when your games go off at night, jump on over to that casino and play right there at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag, code next round.
Already to week 6 of college football, so let's spend a little time talking some college football here with Vanderbilt. Yesterday, Clark Lee, before they leave Nashville, talking about how a lot's being put on this Vandy-Alabama game for the Doors.
We don't distill the success of a year down to one game. We're looking for 12 climbs plus what awaits us after the postseason. So ultimately, we left a year ago not satisfied, feeling like there was more for us to accomplish. And this year, we've put a lot into every day up until this point. And so we keep our heads down and we keep going to work. And we'll do that no matter the outcome of any of our games. This is about finding a program's potential. This is about playing into January. And to do that, you have to have an incredible ability to focus in the moment. And so it is very purposeful and intentional, the messaging and the focus I have to bring as the head coach, the staff has to bring every day, and the players too. In our environment, we just don't get distracted by much.
Yeah, so that's the worry, right, Lance, is that they pour all this into trying to be 6-0 and on this college football playoff path, and you lose this one and the season gets away. Much like Alabama fans are concerned, okay, we got that win at Georgia, like we did at home last year, and then we let the season get away.
Yeah, I do think last year was kind of a building season for this Vanderbilt team, though, because they tasted success, and look, they weren't really able to close the deal as far as having, I guess it was a special season by Vanderbilt expectations, but this feels a little bit different. Now, the problem is the backside of this schedule. Second most difficult strength of schedule moving forward for Vanderbilt, starting this weekend in Tuscaloosa with Alabama. I mean, this is so cliche, but they literally have to take these things one game at a time. I mean, is there really an expectation for them to win this game? I think internally they believe it.
Who, Vandy?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the country. I look at years ago. You showed me covers.com, and I looked to see where the betting was right now, and almost 58% this morning was on Vandy.
I mean, I think that's more grabbing the 10.5, though.
Yeah.
If this thing was a pick, I mean, 80% of the nation would be on Bama. Yeah. But still, that's crazy to think that maybe 2 out of 10 think Vanderbilt's going to win this game.
Well, and I love, first of all, let me just say I love this guy's approach. I really love the way Clark Lee approaches it. I applaud him for not getting super discouraged when he had a couple 2-win seasons there. But it's all about now, you've kind of gotten good, so what's your next goal? And I think a reasonable goal for them is try to get and it sounds crazy, but try to go to winning conference records. Since 1982, how many winning conference records do you think they have?
I would think 0.
1. James Franklin went 5-3 1 year.
I thought he went 4-4 on both of those 9-win seasons.
He went 5-3 in 2012, 4-4.
I guess he couldn't, yeah.
Yeah, 4-4 in 2013. And so you've had 1 winning conference record since 1982. So I think that's a lofty goal for them to somehow scrape out 5 conference wins. But I think, at some point, you've got 1 now. Even if you lose Saturday, that goal's not dead.
Before we get to our pick 3 here, Breakline bringing you part of the show here. Tell us about Breakline, Brandon.
BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com. It's where you go to find these great-looking sunglasses. You can get yours and wear them to the stadiums, wear them to the lakes, the beaches, wherever you're headed. These glasses, they are built and manufactured by people that love the outdoors. And what they wanted to do is design sunglasses that were durable and would withstand whatever elements you find outdoors. And they've done just that. In fact, the lenses, they brought some to us from Breakline, and we have pounded those into the pavement behind our building and cannot break them. Right now, you can save at Breakline with code TNR30. Code TNR30 saves you 30% at BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com. Code TNR30 at Breakline Optics.
Pick three, it's time for the pick three. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick three. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick three. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick three.
We offer up our pick three. Buffalo Wild Wings offers up their pick six. Big news. Football in full effect. So is that pick six from our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings, $19.99. This is the ultimate meal for two. 2 entrees, 2 sides, 2 drinks. Pick between the boneless wings and any of their 26 sauces and seasonings, spicy, sauced, or grilled crispy chicken dippers, and hand-smashed, double-stacked, all-American cheeseburgers with sides of fries, tots, potato wedges. Pick 6 meal for 2. Participating locations. Get in all weekend long to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Forrester, give us a pick 3 standings where we're actually doing a lot better on harder upset alert Tuesdays than we are on the pick 3. But Forrester out there with a very, very impressive 9-6, 3 games above 500. That's really good, Forrester. Brooks, better at this game than he is the upset alert. 1 game above 500. LT and I 1 under 500. And Brown down at 5-10, and we will give you our pick 3s. LT and Brownie will give you theirs at 11. And the guys in the back row, the ABC 3340 alumni crew, will give theirs in the final segment. Mine quickly here in this segment before we get back into the games. I'm going home dogs. Give me Temple plus the 6.5, Maryland plus the 6.5, and Wyoming plus the 3.5. I also like Cal plus the 3.5. I like Florida plus the 4.5, and I like Alabama minus 10.5. But those are my 3 official plays. Let's talk about some of these trap games. Road ranked teams who are playing some home dogs. We've talked Texas and Florida. We've talked Vandy and Alabama. Let's get into this Miami-Florida State game a little bit more. Is there a better edge player in the game right now than Ruben Bain? He's one of them, isn't he?
He is one of them, and I think he is taking on the personality. Ruben Bain was a great player before you got a new defense coordinator. But Corey Heatherman coming in from Minnesota, preaching violence. You've heard it on multiple broadcasts. But, I mean, they have been absolutely dominant defensively, and you just wonder if this thing can carry out throughout the season. Miami's got a very good offense with Carson Beck, but, again, so good against the run. Top 10 run defense, only giving up 76 yards. Canes have now won 14 straight August, September, and October games.
Wow.
This is when Mario Cristobal, makes his hay.
Yeah.
Can't really get it done in November.
I don't know who's got the more improved unit year over year, LSU's defense or Miami's. I think it's one of those two.
Yeah, it is one of those two, yeah.
I mean, Miami's defense, it's what cost them a playoff spot last year, that game at Syracuse. They could not get stops consistently.
But, Cristobal, when you look at just true road games and neutral site games, only 9-9 at Miami. So hasn't been good away from Hard Rock.
Mississippi State is on the road at Texas A&M this weekend. And State put up some points against Tennessee. A&M, though they beat Auburn, though they're ranked very high, you leave that Auburn game, where are you on Texas A&M as far as a championship playoff contender right now? Did they fall back a little bit in your eyes in that Auburn contest?
So Le'Veon Moss coming off a career game. You look at what you've got coming in from the portal on the edge with Casey Concepcion and Mario Craver. And then Marcel Reed has been good, but he hasn't been spectacular. But they're finding ways to win games. They won it with offense against Notre Dame on the road. They won it with defense against Auburn. I mean, look, they only gave up 1 yard in the fourth quarter. I don't care how bad this Auburn offense is. Only 176 yards for the game, and they held Auburn 0 for 13 on third downs. This is a good A&M team. I don't believe I think Clad had them the 4th best team in college football, and maybe is their number 1 in the SEC.
It's a bit high for me.
Yeah, I don't think they're that good, but would I be shocked at the end of the year if they're 10-2 and they slide into the college football playoff? No, but this is one of those games they got to win. And on the other side, Mississippi State, we talk about improved defenses. As a entirety, I think Mississippi State's the most improved team in college football, probably.
Yeah, not just the SEC, all of college football.
I mean, Mississippi State, is this crazy? They could make I don't want to say that. I was going to say they can make a run at the Big 12, but I don't think they could.
What about the ACC?
No.
No, we're talking state.
What about
here.
a bowl game?
I think they could win the American. Bowl, yeah. I mean, it's going to be really difficult. They've got to get another win. They've got to go 1-6 down the stretch. Difficult schedule. I mean, I think they go 0 for 7, but Whole game's in play.
You know, Texas A&M only gave up 2 sacks through their first 3 games, and Auburn got 4 sacks. So, I mean, you see the difference there, right? And that's the question about, you know, that is going to affect Marcel Reed is, can that line hold up when you get into SEC play and the pass rushes you'll face in the SEC? And I think that is still TBD for Texas A&M. That's my concern. The takeaway from the Auburn game, that's my concern there, is they couldn't protect the quarterback well enough. Now, they protected him well enough to win, but Auburn is also not one of your top SEC teams. So when you start running up against good teams with good pass rushes, what happens?
Yeah, what happens then? Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3. You can play them all the way up until 11 o'clock tomorrow. No Friday games on here. NextRoundLive.com. NextRoundLive.com brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings and our friends at Breakline. Go play those games, NextRoundLive.com, NextRoundLive.com. I don't think Kentucky can beat Georgia, but are you guys watching this game just to see what Georgia looks like coming off the home loss to Alabama?
Well, probably one of the few times you'll get a 3-touchdown favorite in conference play. And I just think Kentucky's offense, we talk about some bad offenses, it probably is the worst of the worst. And if Georgia wants to build a little bit more confidence on the defense coming off shutting out Alabama in the second half, I think you can kind of continue that trend against Kentucky.
Normally, if I say Kentucky does one thing well, what would you say?
Usually, they were good on the defensive line, but they ran the ball okay.
Yeah, well, they're 9th in the conference rushing. Don't even have to tell you what they are passing. I think that's baked into Kentucky football. When I say Kentucky football, you know they're dead last passing.
Right.
Actually, they weren't last year. Oklahoma saved them from that. But still.
Well, look, you've gone to 2 different quarterbacks. Calzada starts, and then Cutter Boley comes in, and he's equally as bad. But Seth McGowan can run the football. Like, if your only path to one of these miracle upsets would be McGowan going 150 yards and you're +2 in turnovers and you yuck this thing up. I mean, Georgia's 0-5 against the spread their last 5 games out, which is crazy.
Some of these Georgia trends are shocking.
They really are. They are. I'll say one more thing about Kentucky. They don't even try to throw the football. Do you know there is only one Power 4 team? And this is going to surprise some people, unless you've listened to the show this week. One Power 4 team with fewer passing attempts than Kentucky. Kentucky has got 96. This team has got 91. We've touched on it twice this week, and it's a surprising stat that this team has. It's Florida State. Wow. It's the only team that has passed less than Kentucky this year.
Well, but Florida State
can run it.
Got some legitimate receivers led by Deuce Robinson. But I brought this up yesterday. Kentucky's got 2 passing touchdowns, and they're both to tight ends. Like, they don't have a receiver we're pretty deep in the season. We're in October, and you don't have a receiver that's got a receiving touchdown.
Florida State's at least got 9 receiving touchdowns, as little as they've thrown the ball. Kentucky's still only got 2 receiving touchdowns.
Michael Hawkins Jr. looks like running that offense.
Hey, one quick point, though, on Kentucky. Kendrick Law going to Kentucky. I always thought Kendrick Law looked like a guy that would play on Sundays, but boy, he's going to be really forgotten.
This is not hindsight. We said this when he moved. Like, why would you go to Kentucky?
That's our Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3. We'll do it a couple more times throughout. You can play it right now at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. The show also being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. One more thing before we get to our viewing menu. Tell us about Woodhouse.
It is the gift of relaxation. Beautiful location up there at the Summit Shopping Centers. Get in and see Stuart and fine folks there. Tell them the guys from the Next Round sent you. You're going to be on the couch all weekend long watching football. Send the wife or the girlfriend to the best day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa. She can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. The Woodhouse Day Spa voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift online 24/7, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
I want to give you 120 seconds of baseball here before we do the viewing menu and then get to Furman. But the Cubs beat the Padres yesterday at Wrigley. They'll advance on to play Milwaukee now. And I don't know how many bad calls the Padres think they got, but they got one bad one, I know, on a called third strike in the 9th inning that I think was the second out of the inning that maybe disrupt their chances to get a rally going.
Yeah, I got dicey in the 9th for the Cubs.
It did, and I've never seen this, and everyone, like Forrester and Brown pointing out, I don't know how many venues where the umpire has to leave through the visiting dugout, but this is the Padres dugout after the game, and look at these players getting into the umpire's face. These are Padre players as the umpires leave the field at Wrigley yesterday after they were eliminated, and you watch it go by again. Look at this. these guys come to the umpires as they're leaving. There'll be fines from this, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody ever made contact. There's like a security guard with them that actually had to push back some of the Padres guys, though.
Boy, I almost find a alternative route.
Yeah.
If I'm one of those guys.
They
were just waiting, weren't they?
Go grab a beer with the Cubs fans before I head to the locker room. Yeah.
I do like these 3-game series, though.
I do too. They are fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is it best of 5 next in the next round?
Yeah.
Okay. Never seen this before. Usually, Forrester, you and I have gone to a lot of games covering them over the years, mostly in college football, but it happens in college basketball. When the visiting team, especially a rivalry game or whatever, when a visiting team wins, what usually happens on the scoreboard?
I mean, I would go all the way down to like the high school level too. Like you shut the scoreboard off if you
very
lose.
quickly, very quickly.
Usually, like if Alabama goes into Auburn this year and beats them, even before the players are off the field, that scoreboard's the score is gone. It's dark.
Yeah, you may still have some messages up like drive safely, but the score's gone.
Yeah, because you don't want that picture, whatever reason. It's just, I don't know if it's, you'd call it a tradition, but that is the operating theory for most stadiums. Not in Cleveland yesterday. Tigers eliminate the Guardians. And the Guardians field. I've never seen this before.
Are you
on the
kidding
scoreboard,
me?
they put congratulations, Tigers.
That's a division rival.
That's AI.
Is it?
No, that is 100% real. I've seen fan photos of it. This is from the Tigers' official Twitter account.
Okay,
this is real.
Somebody's going to lose their job at Progressive.
Well, here's imagine. So you had Yankees Red Sox last night at Yankee Stadium. If the Red Sox had won that game,
not in 100 years.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No
chance.
Think about this. You saw it. It's your division. Like the meltdown the Tigers had, and the Guardians have got great fans, and they have been salivating, waiting for this championship. And then you come back and you creep back and you actually win the division, and then you blow this 3-game series. There's no way.
Not only do you put that on the scoreboard, you let them have a photo op.
That's
like when I
crazy.
see them lining up the photo, I get that off the scoreboard as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Or I bait them in, and then when they get the photo set, I change it to something that's like disrespecting of the Tigers.
Here's the problem with the baseball. All this next series starts tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
1 o'clock TBS, Cubs, Brewers. 3 o'clock Fox, Yankees, Blue Jays. 5:30 TBS, Dodgers, Phillies, which will be great drama.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll be going on Saturday and Sunday. And then and these games, game 2s are all Sunday during the NFL. 7:30 on FS1, Tigers and Mariners as baseball continues on. Before we do the viewing menu, tell us about Culver's Brownie.
Culver's is the place you can go this college football weekend or anytime to get those great cheeseburgers. In fact, recently voted the best cheeseburger in America right there at Culver's. The Butter Burger is fantastic. I like that Culver's Deluxe. They got great sides, too. I love the crinkle cut fries. They are so crisp, seasoned just perfectly. And I love the cheese curds. I'm not a Wisconsin guy, but boy, if I was in Wisconsin, I'd eat me some cheese curds. They got a great dessert flight going on right now. Those concrete mixers are always wonderful, but some of those cereals you loved as a kid and still love as an adult, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the Lucky Charms, and the Cocoa Puffs, cereal-inspired concrete mixer minis. Right now, a flight of them at your local Culver's.
205-969-8100, the number that I called, wore contacts for almost a decade. I was wasting money each and every year on the contacts and solutions. If this is you, maybe you wear the eyeglasses, trust me, make the phone call that I made to Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
We've got a special event at AMC that actually crashed the AMC app.
Oh,
are you serious?
My gosh.
It is the Taylor Swift official release party of Life of a Showgirl. So if you're a big Swiftie, then you can see the exclusive world premiere of the music video The Fate of Ophelia, along with behind-the-scenes footage from the music video shoot, brand new lyric videos, and Taylor's never-before-seen personal reflections on songs from her 12th studio album.
Wow.
And they also have, themed cocktails and stuff around Taylor Swift. So, if you're a big Swiftie, you got something to do this weekend.
I got 2 listens to the new album last night as I was doing some show notes. And
Like
it's good.
2 samples, or you went through the whole thing twice?
The whole album twice.
And your thoughts?
Wow.
Yeah. It was good. It's good. Really good. My daughter and I have been texting back and forth this morning. I like Wood. It's a good song. Wood is.
And you like Wood, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
love Wood. In fact, it was a really good
In
song.
the morning?
Always. Thank God. Knock on wood. Yes. What else?
Netflix has a new docuseries called Monster: The Ed Gein Story.
Oh, I've heard Lance talk about that.
Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy as Ed Gein, and it is the shocking true life tale of Ed Gein, the infamous murderer and grave robber who inspired many of Hollywood's most iconic on-screen killers. Looks very disturbing.
I would say yes.
Oh man, it really, really does.
So one guy spawned the thoughts of several Hollywood killers.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, Silence of the Lambs. I mean, he would skin his victims, and he made lamps and made masks out of them, and kept his dead mother there in his house.
Oh,
yep.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Max has added Bring Her Back to its catalog, and this was a horror movie I was really looking forward to this year, and I think it's one of the best of the year, one of the best movies I've seen this year. Very disturbing, and it's best to go in completely blind.
Okay.
All right.
And that's all I got today.
Thanks, Todd.
That is the viewing menu. Todd Fuhrman coming up on the other side. The show being brought to you by Urology Centers of Alabama. Our friends at UCA want you to stay healthy, guys, as you age from your 20s to your 30s, 30s to 40s, and so forth. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama have 16 locations to help you. 70 years of the best urological care in Alabama. That's how they've grown to 16 locations, over 35 urologists. You can stay on top of your health. Early detection so important to saving lives, too, when it comes to your prostate health, but so many other things that they can help you with. 205-930-0920, Urology Centers, Alabama.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation and legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple-header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with NextRound.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, rolling into Todd Fuhrman, who will join us from Las Vegas here. I will tell you the show is brought to you by our friends at Coke Zero Sugar. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. So it's picking winners. But fan work is thirsty work. Fuhrman is thirsty work too. Trying to get the dubs.
Oh, trying to get the dubs. All right, Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports, at Todd Fuhrman on social media, with us now on the Alexander Schnarr Trial Attorneys Hotline. What is up, Fuhrman? How are you today?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. I'd be doing better if LT's Rams could hold on to the football and keep me alive in Survivor, but alas, we move forward in this business.
Fuhrman.
Wow.
You talking about a flukish game.
The very definition of you can handle losing football games in a number of capacities, but being unprepared and self-inflicted, arguably the worst combination of things.
I thought we'd gotten past it, and Fuhrman dredged it back up. All right, I want to start, Fuhrman, with the big line movement in this Texas game at Florida. What is going on? I saw it, I think, still at 7.5 yesterday at mybookie.ag. It's gotten down to 5.5 there. Dunaway said he saw it at 4.5. What in the world is happening here?
For what feels like the 100th week in a row, professional bettors are gravitating towards the Florida Gators, trying to recoup some of the money that they've lost backing Florida against Miami, backing them against LSU, hoping that history will be a little bit different with some home cooking in Gainesville. Billy Napier's job, of course, very much on the line if you believe all the buzz coming out of Gainesville in this particular spot. And for Florida, they should be healthier in this game from an offensive skill position talent standpoint, most notably Dallas Wilson, the guy that kind of took the world by storm with his performance in the spring game, should allow Florida to stretch the field. And on the flip side of things, I think there's still a lot of questions that Texas has to answer when it comes to beating a good upper echelon caliber defense. Wins over San Jose State, UTEP, and of course Sam Houston, given what we saw last night from Sam Houston, don't exactly give them a ringing endorsement that all has been fixed with this Longhorns offense that looked to be stuck in neutral in the season opener against Ohio State. So I can understand why Florida has taken a little bit of money as a 7-point underdog. I think the expectation is that Texas has to answer the bell here. I just can't get to either side in this game. And if anything, guys, I think the total might actually be a shade low. We may see a little bit more in the way of big play potential from these two teams than that number hovering in the low 40s suggests.
Another frustrating team against the number has been Clemson. Obviously frustrating overall, sitting at 1-3, but now laying 14 in Chapel Hill. It's a Clemson team that has lost their last 5 against the spread. I'm staying away from it, but I would assume there are some people that are going to be bullish and they're going to continue to lay the points with Clemson in this spot.
You know, this has been a real two-way battle, and from professional bettors alike. When a number gets above that 2-touchdown threshold, there's an appetite to back UNC as a home underdog, catching the 14.5, thinking that Max Johnson expected to start for UNC, gives them a little bit more of a puncher's chance than what Gio Lopez was doing in terms of stretching the field. And on the flip side of things, there's the school of thought that from a power rating standpoint, this is rock bottom for the Clemson Tigers, and maybe the bye week gives them a chance to hit the reset. For me, I haven't seen enough from Clemson that leads me to believe this team is going to get themselves up off the deck and suddenly show a little bit more fight. On the flip side of things, you dig into what North Carolina has accomplished or hasn't accomplished so far, and you can understand the skepticism. So in a board that offers a lot of opportunity and upside, this is a definition of a stay-away game for me. I think we're going to learn a lot more about these two teams and how we should be approaching them going forward, given what the data point tomorrow yields.
All right, man. You saw it happen last year in Nashville. Alabama had beaten Georgia. They moved to number 1 in the country. Nobody moved them that far up in the rankings this week, but they went on the road and beat Georgia. Where are you on these underdog Commodores coming to Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, pretty impressive effort yet again from Alabama, as we've seen time and time again. When they're playing ranked opponents, the opponent gets their undivided attention, and Kalen DeBoer seems to get the best out of his bunch. Now, with the sweet comes the sour, and the first half was outstanding offensively for the Crimson Tide, and then the second half, they were fortunate to hang on, Georgia electing to go for it in tight, and then, of course, a timely drop that allowed Alabama to escape. Here comes a Vanderbilt team that hasn't really been tested so far this season. You go through the first 5 games and you go, maybe the win at Virginia Tech, maybe at South Carolina under normal circumstances would give you a reason to be optimistic about where Vandy was, but I think this is a true litmus test. Saturday will mark the 51st SEC game in a row that Vanderbilt will enter as an underdog. Now, that's a streak that's poised to end probably in late November when they play host to Kentucky, but it just speaks to the futility or the imbalance that we've seen in the league. From a number standpoint, guys, I make Alabama a 13-point favorite here, but Diego Pavia has cost me probably more money when my power ratings say to bet against Vandy over the last season and a half. So stay away territory for me. I am very curious to see how Vanderbilt's defense holds up against this Alabama passing attack, and if Vandy's able to play a bit of keep away, because if they turn this thing into a track meet like we saw last week against Utah State, not going to be the recipe for success for a defense that's now given up 56 points the last 2 weeks at home against the likes of Georgia State and Utah State.
Listen, I'm horrible at taking notes. I'd be a terrible court reporter, but are you on vacation this weekend? Because we've called out 3 games, and are you staying away from all 3 of the ones that we've called out?
Dunaway, last I checked, there are about 50-plus college football games, so my apologies to you that I haven't bet the 3 biggest games on the board. I didn't know I get paid time and a half or double time to bet games involving SEC opponents compared to the Sun Belt, Mid-American, and other leagues of my choosing.
I mean, hell, we're throwing darts at the board here. Can we hit one that you play this weekend?
Look, forgive me. I'm putting salve on my wound for what got away last night. It's what I get for trusting Sean McVay on short rest in the Rams.
Whoa.
Hey, by the way, I thought McVay dialed it up well. It was just poor execution. And Stafford missed a couple of receivers, and you can't.
More Chris Shula defensively, in my opinion, for playing soft coverage when you knew you couldn't get pressure against that Niners offensive line. Do something to force Mac to throw into tight windows, but hard to handicap a Blake Corum fumble, Kyron Williams, and a variety of other interesting execution faux pas.
Yeah, but listen, I don't work for the U.S. government. If you have shut down this weekend, just let me know.
Well played, Dunaway. I'll give you that much. But actually, the real reason that I'm waiting to try and share a pick or two, I want to hear who you're on to make sure that I can go the other way to protect my bankroll.
I've got the logos in front of me. I like Temple plus 6.5. I like Maryland plus 6.5, and I like Wyoming plus 3.5. All home dogs.
Look, Wyoming has actually done real well in this particular spot as a home underdog of a field goal or more in the Mountain West against Mountain West foes. So UNLV, such a fascinating matchup because this will be only their second game since early September. They had a bye week, they had a game, they had another bye week because of scheduling issues. Should be windy up there. I actually like that game under in the first half. I think defense can dominate the day, and if UNLV is unable to throw the football against this Wyoming defense, it could be a little bit tighter scoring. So I have no issues with you making a case for the home dog there. The other 2 home pups, I am not a part of either of them, although I have bet that Washington-Maryland game went over the total there. Some injuries for Washington on the defensive side of the ball that could loom large. I think Washington will find it significantly easier to move the ball against the Terps than what we saw against the Buckeyes. And on the other side of things, this Maryland offense, in my opinion, should have some success. They were able to move it against Wisconsin, and Washington a step down. So while I don't love Coach Locke's off a bye, he's now lost 9 straight against Big Ten opponents. I do think those 2 teams can each get to 27 points on Saturday.
From the audience for Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports, at Todd Fuhrman on social media. He's with us on the Alexander Shinora Trial Attorneys Hotline. Morgan wants me to ask you, about Virginia coming off the big home win last Friday night against Florida State, on the road now at Louisville, catching 6.5. How do you feel about the Who's at the Cards?
Credit to Tony Elliott. He had his guys ready to go for a massive game in Charlottesville. And normally when you're going to pull off an upset of that magnitude for Virginia, it's because you play a clean football game, your opponent turns it over a couple of times, and you have slightly better execution. That game, in my opinion, didn't look like there was a mismatch from a physicality standpoint on either line of scrimmage. And I think it bodes well for Virginia to try and put together a complete effort on the road at Louisville. Louisville, dug themselves a 17-0 hole at Pitt, were able to come back. And I started to see the defense turn the corner a bit. So I think this game could be a little bit tighter than that total suggests with two high-flying offenses. But this game has also been a battle all around the key number of 7. You saw very sharp professional money come in initially in the week on Louisville at -6.5. Number went through the 7 out to 7.5, and that's when you saw some different betting groups gobble up the points there. So coaching mismatch in favor of Louisville, situational edge there. But I actually like what I've seen from Virginia offensively quite a bit, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if they're able to keep this game within that window.
They have covered 6 straight, and they are, in my opinion, maybe the most improved team overall this year in Mississippi State and Jeff Lebby in year 2. But I don't think they win another game. And I think A&M stomps their ass here. Are you laying the points with me?
I am. The 14 early on in the week. I show value all the way up to 16.5 in this game with the Bulldogs. I think A&M had one of the more misleading finals of all of college football last weekend. I know it said 16-10 on the scoreboard against Auburn, but you dig into that box score, and anybody who watched that game from start to finish saw how dominant A&M was, especially on the defensive side, which had been one of the questions I think a lot of us needed answering during Mike Elko's brief tenure there. You mentioned Mississippi State. I feel they're going to be out of gas in this spot, having played as many games in a row as they have, letting that opportunity to pull off the upset against Tennessee get away from them. And it's an offensive line right now that's extremely banged up. Unfortunately for the fans in Starkville, they just don't recruit the same level of depth as other SEC programs. And while it does scare me, given Mike Elko's poor track record as a favorite since taking over as head coach at Texas A&M, I think this is the definition of a lay it or don't play it game that can get real ugly in the second half. So I'm right there with you, LT.
Yeah, there you go. There's one.
There we go.
Lay it or don't play it. I wait for that every week.
Dunaway, how many fingers do you have on your one hand? Because I believe that's 3 with the Washington over that I advocated for and a first half under in Wyoming UNLV. But if that's the only one because it's big boy football, I understand your superiority complex.
No. I just wait every week for lay it or don't play it. I'm thinking about that being my next tattoo.
Look, if we're turning into a drinking game at 10 o'clock in the morning Central on Friday, I am more than happy to help some of the folks that are out there already tailgating for the marquee games of the weekend.
Yeah, let's don't do that. The U -4 at Florida State. What do you see in this one, Fuhrman?
So this is a game, when you look at the number here, I think a lot of people gravitate towards the home underdog with Florida State, night game, chance to bounce back at Doak. The problem I have here is I don't like any of the matchups for the Seminoles on the offensive and defensive line because the key to beating Carson Beck, as we saw at Georgia, especially on the road, is generating pressure, and Florida State hasn't been able to do that so far this season. So if Beck's able to operate from a clean pocket, I think that's going to create some problems. And on the flip side of things, look, Gus Malzahn and that Florida State staff deserve a ton of credit for the hurting they put on Alabama in the season opener. But it's not an overly complex offense. And Miami has seen a lot of what Florida State can now do on tape on both sides of the ball. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. And I worry that if Florida State can't run the football, Castellanos won't have the opportunity to kind of pick apart the defense. I don't have a play here, but it's a little bit of buyer beware on the home underdog. I know the numbers suggest it. I just can't get to it from an X's and O standpoint.
I mean, one of the more baffling things as we really quickly transition to the NFL is Baltimore, 15-point lead, 8 minutes to go in the game on the road against Buffalo. And since that moment, they've been bad. They're sitting at 1-3, worst scoring defense in the NFL. Now Cooper Rush is going to get the start. Not a lot of times you can get the Ravens at home plus points, but right now, Baltimore +1 against the Texans. Do you play a backup quarterback in Cooper Rush in this situation?
If you like the Ravens, I think you wait as long as possible here and hope that there's a 3 that pops. It's not just the Ravens offense that's problematic right now. It's what this team doesn't have on defense. And guys, coming into the year, when you look at the Ravens 2 deep, they could be down as many as 11 contributors there. I don't remember an NFL defense being this banged up. The list goes on from Broderick Washington to Matabuike to Travis Jones, Odafe Owe, Roquan Smith, Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, Chidobe Awuzie, and Marlon Humphrey. I mean, this is a tough spot, even against the Houston Texans offense that leaves a lot to be desired and some of their offensive line foibles. At the same time, I think Houston's pass rush is going to pose some problems for Cooper Rush. Don't love what I've seen from Derrick Henry and his 4 broken tackles so far this season through 4 games. I think this is a tough spot. I'm not going to tell anyone to lay the worst of the number here with the Texans, but if you like the Ravens, there's no reason not to wait closer to kickoff and hope you get a full field goal.
All right, he is Todd Fuhrman. Follow him on social media at Todd Fuhrman. CBS Sports is where you'll see him, and he is always great with his time with us. Fuhrman, enjoy the games this weekend, buddy. Always appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. And Dunaway, hopefully I picked enough games for you. Next week I'll come in with the shotgun approach and try and pick an ATS winner in all 50 of them that we have in front of us.
All 50.
Let me know when you get back from vacation, man. See ya.
Hey, look, everyone loves to take vacations in the fall. You're the king of doing that, so I figured I had to let you lead by example, my friend.
I'll see you in Vegas soon.
Ooh,
okay.
All right.
Be good, boys. Have a great weekend.
Fuhrman, thank you. That is Todd Fuhrman on the Alexander Shinora Trial Attorneys Hotline.
The games you get wrong can be cleaned up with our friends at Gray's Tree Service. Deadwood right here with Gray's Tree Service. They took care of LT a few years ago.
Absolutely. I had those dead pines in the yard, needed them extracted. There was only one place I was calling. That is Gray's Tree. John Mark and his crew, they came out, did an absolutely incredible job extracting those 4 trees. But not just that. It's not just the tree removal. It's also trimming. It's health. You care for your lawn. You care for your trees as well. Family owned and operated right here in Birmingham for over 25 years. The experts in high-risk tree removals, pruning, soil health treatment to strengthen those trees and plants. Call 205-255-1239. Scan the QR code or visit graystree.com.
Hey, Talladega Super Speedway is coming back. They are back in Talladega 2 weeks from today. Yellowwood 500 weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, and it all starts with the Friday race, the truck race, and their playoffs. The Saturday race from the Xfinity Series and their playoffs, and then the Yellowwood 500 caps it all off Sunday and their playoffs right there on the NASCAR Cup Series there. Almost called it the Winston Cup Series. How long has it been since that was a Winston Cup Series? You can see it all and reserve your spot in the grandstands, reserve your spot in the infield, the camping area, the Whiskey Myers concert on Saturday night, or the Garage Experience presented by Cool Ray, the most immersive in all of NASCAR. When you call 877-GO-TO-DEGA, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, or at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
And our 4 downs today brought to you by the great folks at Walk-Ons. I was by there last night for a post-round cold beer, watching the Rams game and watching the Cubs and then the Yankees and Red Sox at Walk-On's great TV setup, as my daughter said. And then I enjoyed the nice ribeye sliders that LT turned me on to. Delicious last night. All the great food at Walk-On's, made from scratch favorites there. And those Hall of Fame level burgers, which both my girlfriend and her boyfriend enjoyed last night. You can enjoy all of that. Great appetizers as well.
Whoa. Your daughter and
what did I say?
You said my
you said your girlfriend and your boyfriend.
My girlfriend and my boyfriend.
Okay.
That's
My
an
daughter, interesting relationship.
My daughter and her boyfriend stop by today and order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro, Trustville, Greystone, and Stadium Trace. It's game on at Walk-Ons. Let's do 4 downs.
First down.
So C.J. Stroud's 24 years old today. So I'm going to ask you more points this weekend. C.J. Stroud and the Texans on the road against Baltimore, worst scoring defense in the NFL, or the Houston Cougars playing at home against Texas Tech? More total points.
Well, this seems like a trick question because you've sung the praises of Texas Tech's defense, and they are good.
Yeah.
And Baltimore's defense is not good. I guess you're saying Houston's offense isn't particularly
Houston's
great.
offense is awful.
Yeah.
17 seems to be the answer on both of these.
You think so?
I will go.
I would say Houston's team total in college is probably 19.5.
Yeah, I put 17 is what both of them will score here. I'm going to go, I think, a big weekend from the Ravens defense because their back's against the wall without Lamar likely. I'm going to go Houston Cougars slightly more than the Houston Texans.
Boy, everybody has scored on Baltimore, even as bad as the Texans
are. I think
I would go with them.
The Texans, but I don't feel great about it.
It's so strange to watch, too, because when you think Baltimore Ravens football, you think of Lamar Jackson, but you think of a gritty, hit you till you hurt defense, and they just don't have that anymore. It is so strange to watch. I think I'm going to go Texans.
Second down.
More total touchdowns this weekend. Diego Pavia on the road in Tuscaloosa, or Jalen Hurts against Denver.
Home game with Denver there for Hurts. Pavia on the road. So it's rushing and throwing touchdowns for Pavia or Hurts. I'm going to take Hurts 4-3 for me.
Total touchdowns, I think I'll go Hurts as well. You always have the brotherly shove that is in play there. Even though he has not thrown a lot, he's thrown for touchdowns. So I think I'll go Jalen Hurts in this one too.
I think it's 3-3, but I'm going to lean Pavia 3-2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Third down.
Which indigenous team scores more points in the state of Florida this weekend? The Seminoles or the Chiefs?
Chiefs are in Jacksonville. Florida State's a home game. I think that Miami-Florida State game is going to play low.
Do you?
I do. I think Mario Cristobal will try to take the air out of the ball a little bit, let Carson Beck manage the game, and then Seminoles running the football so much, or trying to anyway. I'm going to say Chiefs.
Your Vegas total 54.5 for Miami, Florida State. I'm trying
seems like easy money under.
You think easy under on that one, huh?
Yep.
Interesting. I was going to say I thought it might be a
Is he
little
making
of a
a note of that?
of a higher scoring game.
Is he making a note of that?
Yes, he is very quickly. I was going to pull up quickly your total 46.5 for Kansas City Jacksonville, which is a little bit of a high total in the NFL. So I think I might go Chiefs.
Kansas City's offense finally looked good last week. I think I would go Seminoles.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
2 more celebrity birthdays. Tommy Lee is 63 today. Gwen Stefani, 56. Better career, Gwen Stefani or Tommy Lee?
Both really, really good. Close tie. I don't have to choose, but I'll go. I've seen Tommy Lee more in concert.
You've seen more of Tommy Lee, too, than Gwen Stefani.
You don't know that. But
wow.
Technically,
You've had an opportunity to see more of him.
I was single in the 90s. You don't know if I bumped into Gwen Stefani.
She has had quite the career because No Doubt, and then doing the solo stuff, and now The Voice. And but, man, Tommy Lee.
Considered to be at one time maybe the best drummer in rock and roll.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, very, very talented.
Yeah.
And obviously for them to be able to hold it together for as long as they have is pretty amazing. I'd lean Tommy Lee, but I agree with you. I think it's really, really close.
I think I go Tommy Lee.
Yeah. And that's our 4 downs today. Brought to you by great folks like our friends at Company Distilling. Hey, you're looking at chill in the air, looking for that little bourbon and Coca-Cola. Company Distilling, or you can have it over ice, drink it neat. It's in Alabama now.
Well, yeah, it's in Alabama. You can pick it up this weekend, not only in Alabama, also Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. If you've been waiting to try a whiskey that's as good as the company you keep, this is your moment with Company Distilling. They also have 3 must-visit locations across Tennessee. You want to take that drive and check out the foliage of the leaves falling up in the beautiful Tennessee area. They've got one in Townsend, located in the heart of the Smokies, Lynchburg, a charming and historic setting, and Thompson Station just outside of Nashville. So whether you're on a weekend getaway, planning a whiskey road trip, one of these destinations should be on your must-visit list. You can scan our QR code for great giveaways, but you can also go online today. Go to companydistilling.com/Alabama.
All right. I did want to point out that if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, good news for you, the Saints are not leaving town. 10-year extension to stay in New Orleans.
Was that being discussed?
Realistically, they had to get a new stadium deal done with the Superdome, and the 10-year extension with the city of New Orleans worked out.
Well, the problem is you probably realistically need a new stadium there, but that stadium is in such a great spot for what New Orleans is,
and they just continue to
patch it
cosmetically. Do something here and there.
Yeah.
I'm on a Katrina kick right now. I don't know why, because I guess the documentary that came out on Netflix from Spike Lee. But I went back and I'm watching right now 5 Days at Memorial. I don't know if you guys heard about this.
I've watched that.
Matt Roth told me about it.
I'd read a long form article about it, and it's remarkable. The one they did,
Is it okay?
It's okay.
I've seen
for
2
those
of the
that
episodes.
don't know, 5 Days at Memorial is
the Memorial Hospital in
right.
New Orleans, when the hospital flooded and they had to evacuate. They didn't have an evacuation plan. They had overweight, older patients. They had kind of a retirement home that was part of the facility.
Yeah, and there was a caste system because of that.
Yeah, and there was some bad stuff that went on there, and the way the government handled it obviously wasn't good. But the reason I bring that up is because I continue to see these outshots of the dome, and I don't know if it's drone shots. I don't know what it was back then, maybe helicopter shots, but how bad the roof was.
Terrible.
And they just continue to make this thing over. And I know it was one of the eighth wonders of the world back in the day when the Superdome made its debut back in the 70s. But I think it's time to implode it and make something else happen.
10-year extension there. By the way, Jackson Dart in New Orleans this weekend, Giants and Saints. It was the Saints that passed him over in the draft. Didn't pick him. Jackson Dart says yesterday he does have a chip on his shoulder. Looking forward to playing the Saints this weekend. Keep an eye on that game. And Roger Goodell on an international Super Bowl says yesterday, our focus, and he was asked specifically because the game's in London about a Super Bowl being played in London, where some of these international games are played in the NFL. He says our focus is on playing Super Bowls in teams that currently have NFL teams, markets with NFL teams. So unless London gets an NFL team someday.
Yeah. You didn't say no there.
That's right.
Yeah, you left the door open for, well, if London has a team, we'll play there. But the Super Bowl is one of the ways the NFL helps these franchises get new stadiums is, like, for instance, Nashville. I don't think it's been announced yet, but they will announce a Super Bowl in Nashville.
100%.
And that's how they're able to sell the locals on the stadium is, well, it's going to bring us the Super Bowl, and that's going to bring so much tax revenue for us when all the visitors are in town. We got to do this deal.
Yeah, so if London gets a franchise, they'll get a Super Bowl. But right now, the commissioner is saying, when it comes to international Super Bowls, we're only going where NFL teams are from now on. They used to not do that. They played Super Bowls at Palo Alto and the Rose Bowl when they didn't have a team.
Rice Stadium in Houston held one time.
They did, but Houston had a team. But
still,
I think they did at that time.
And the Oilers are already there.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I'm wrong about that. All right, so there we go. There is a little bit of what's going on in the NFL. We'll get back to college football with our way too early headlines coming up on the other side. The show being brought to you by our friends at A+. Tell us about A+, Brownie.
That is the outfit that redid the master bath in the Brown House. Brad Bell is the guy that heads it up there. And when it came time to redo our master bath, my wife, Jennifer, scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. Brad Bell is the guy she picked, and I'm glad she did. His crews did amazing work. They were on time every day, which is saying something. They did great clean work. They updated us the end of every workday. Like, here's what we've accomplished. We want to make sure it meets your expectations. Did every single day. It was a fantastic experience for us, and our bathroom looks great. Scott shows you before and afters all the time. You can see more before and afters going to alabamabathremodels.com. That is alabamabathremodels.com. That is Brad's website there. You could give him a call and get him to come out and look at your job as well. 205-422-1758. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. Not to say it's all he does, but it is his specialty, master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. 205-422-1758 or alabamabathremodels.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Ryan Grubb here. I want to play a little of the Alabama OC because Alabama's been moving parts around on the offensive line. And then the Georgia game, I think it's safe to say best offensive line game this year by Alabama easily.
Think so, yeah. I mean, you protected Ty Simpson, couldn't really run it, but your quarterback didn't get touched.
Formby at right tackle, which has been a problem, graded, according to Pro Football Focus, as the best offensive lineman this past weekend in college football. Caden Proctor, Tom Luganbill said on Monday Morning Live, and I agree with him, maybe Caden Proctor's best game, not just his rush, but best game as left tackle this year at Alabama, and maybe his career at Alabama. Ryan Grubb on what that performance means to him for his offensive line.
Confidence, when they execute against a defense like Georgia, to all the different pressures and stunts and looks that they got, because I thought Georgia kind of emptied the clip a little bit as far as like looks and pressures and things that they did, and the guys responded. We drug up everything. We were pulling out clips from 2022 Ohio State game and anything that we thought we could possibly see, we put out there at practice, and the guys are ready. And so I think moving forward, they know they can make the adjustments on the sideline, which is probably as important as anything, because there's going to be a look that we haven't practiced, and they did a really nice job of that.
Yeah, very big for Alabama going forward if that offensive line starts living up to expectations. And we don't talk about it enough this week. Vanderbilt's defense may be the best part of their team.
Specifically their rush defense, Lance. They are 3rd in the league against the run, only giving up 79 yards per game. And they've played Lenore Sellers, albeit for only a quarter. They played Lenore Sellers for a quarter. I get the feeling you're about to scoff at this stat I'm giving you, that they're 3rd against the rush.
I think the defense is much better this year than they were last year. I don't think the defense is going to win them games, especially against an Alabama.
35 points against Utah State last week, right?
Yeah, that's alarming.
28 against Virginia Tech. And then they didn't have Lenore Sellers. So,
yeah.
But I'm told Vanderbilt's defense is really, really good by a lot of people who don't like me on social media. You tell me about Dr. B.
Dr. B, best in the business. Look, if you're starting to thin out, if you've got a friend, you've got a brother, you got a son, you got a father, they're thinning out. It doesn't matter the age, the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whenever it comes for you, you want to be preemptive, you want to maintain, you want to grow back. Dr. Beckenstein and his great staff, they are there for you. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time, on the couch. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. Make the phone call I made, 205-319-0316. Stop wasting money, critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. B and that great staff. Find out what will work for you. Here's how they do it. T3's got this new test. It's easy, painless, affordable, takes 4 seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Call today for more information, 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, t3hair.net.
The College Football Spotlight.
Like the game's already been played. Monday's headlines today.
It is our Shannara Spotlight. We do it every single day right here in college football. We talk college football all the time. Thanks to our guy, Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. His core values have helped recover more than $2 billion. $2 billion for Shannara's clients. They include integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shannara trial attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com. Shannara.com.
Okay, so we try to predict some games and some moods and attitudes with our headlines here. And because of the Rams last night, LT will take this week off. We've been rotating weeks off. I didn't have one, I think, 2 weeks ago. Brownie's missed 1 week. So here we go. Here are my way too early headlines. San Diego. Doors slammed. Pavia with 4 fumbles in this game. San Diego, doors slammed. Pavia with 4 fumbles in this game.
Or he's got 4 career fumbles.
Yeah, 4 fumbles in this game.
That's a lot of fumbles.
That is a lot, yeah.
Yeah, feel free to screenshot and grab that one to the left. Rebs now favorites in the SEC. Landry starts the Georgia scout early.
Is this like a legitimate picture of his daughter?
I think it is. I just Googled Landry Kiffin. That was the first picture that popped up, so I don't know.
That's the first one, huh?
Yeah.
If that's your first Google image.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, debuted last night at midnight, 11 Central. Arch loves Life of a Showgirl. Loves it. He's holding up a new album there.
Oh, yeah?
Life
Big
of a
fan?
Showgirl. Yeah, he is a big fan.
His ears are perked up.
Yeah, he's excited about it. His favorite song is "The Fate of Ophelia," which is the first track, but he goes in to ruin the friendship, which he and Sark may be actually going through right now. Wish list, which is what Sark is asking him.
He better get used to that wood because that's what's going to be laid on him tomorrow.
Canceled is actually one. He could get canceled if he doesn't get a win this weekend. A lot of songs on Life of a Showgirl that Arch is a big fan of. That's our way too early headlines. Tough one in the swamp, but when he's got the beats on in pregame,
that's right, man.
He'll be listening to Life of a Showgirl.
All right, before you pull mine up, Tyler, I want to remind our audience who is going to be on the sidelines for the Vanderbilt Commodores.
That would be Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, so Vandy great Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
right?
the ultimate mentor.
Yeah, no, he's Texas A&M great Johnny Manziel, but he's a mentor for Diego Pavia, which leads to my headline from the Bryan College Station Chronicle. Texas A&M Yell leaders inconsolable after hearing Johnny Manziel cheating on them with Vanderbilt football.
Oh, man.
Yell leaders are inconsolable. Look how sad those guys are.
Boy, I mean, it is interesting that maybe the greatest player in Texas A&M history, at least offensively.
Yeah, is on Vandy's sideline.
Yeah, and A&M's got another big game this weekend.
A&M's got a top 5 team. They are inconsolable. Our alternative headlines, since we're in Bryan College Station, the alien-inhabited comet was stopped from hitting the Earth by Mike Elko, who confused it for a meatball.
Yeah.
Mike ate that thing,
He
man.
does have a gut.
A gut.
Massive gut.
Yeah, I was about to say a gut.
Yeah.
I don't think quite describes it.
Medicine ball.
Yeah. And then 10 on 11, Cleveland Browns coach says next plan is to play no quarterback at all. They've tried as many as they can. They're just never going to play another one again.
I can see that. I can see it.
Dylan Gabriel doesn't work out.
No quarterback at all.
Yeah. Speaking of my headline, Scott's got video. This is not Monday's headlines today. This is actual video. Texas A&M Yell leaders from their official account. I guess it's a blackout game for Texas A&M, and
these guys want to be Backstreet Boys so bad. So bad.
They're going in black uniforms, the Yell Leaders. I don't know if this is the first time ever. This is the most over-the-top video you've ever seen to announce that they are going in black coveralls.
Yeah, but keep in mind now, this is the Yell Leaders website. This isn't official Texas A&M football.
It is not. No,
now, are we going to go into the Smith's gay here?
I mean, what do you expect the Yell Leaders to post? I mean,
nothing at all. Hey, this is where we're going to be. Come see us.
That's right. We're at the game again this week. No, it's Operation Blackout for the Yell Leaders.
It's a new kind of tradition.
Yeah.
Have they never worn black before?
I don't know, Jeb. The Yell Leaders are the weirdest thing in the SEC to me, so I don't really study them.
I don't know.
I'm sure these guys, black is thinning. So
listen, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen them in black before, but I will tell you that the start of that video has an uncomfortable number of belt shots.
Yeah, hey, if this thing leaks out to the right crowd, they're going to have a new underground fan base.
I mean, let's count them from the beginning here.
Okay.
When it starts again, when they start walking down, you tell me how many times we see a tight shot of somebody's belt area.
Okay, here you go. This is the end right here.
Okay, here we go.
We're going to recycle.
Here's the start. Count the. I mean, this is
the folding of the arms.
This is the Operation something else out, I believe. Crotch shots here.
Right,
ready?
Here we go. All right.
Tight shot of belt. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, it was an ass shot. So.
Yeah, we got a lot of belt shots there.
Not done yet.
Yep. Oh, we're not. We got to tie our shoes.
We got to get the crotch in black.
Yeah.
Butt shot.
Bible verse. Okay. There's one. Yeah.
Oh, we got away from it as we went on.
Yeah. Once they went to the black pants, we didn't get as many belt shots.
Yeah.
Weirdest thing. Seriously, if you said, what is the weirdest thing in the SEC? I don't even think twice. I'm like the Yell Leaders at Texas A&M.
The name Operation Blackout is also not a very good name. That is something local law enforcement does on Halloween for people who like to see other children dressed up.
Oh, dear.
That's a terrible name, by the way.
All right.
Oh, wow.
No, took it down a bad road.
That's a deep dive right there.
Wow, Brooks.
Yeah. They come through your neighborhood every now and then?
Yeah.
No, I've done a news story about it.
Okay.
So.
That makes sense.
Thanks for ending the laughter, Brooks.
Say I mean, it's not a good name.
Yep.
Yeah, some of us would not have known that until right now. There you go. There's Brownie's headlines and a video there brought to you by our friends at Bojangles. Tell us about Bojangles.
Yeah, you can make a bow time at Bojangles this weekend for lunch, for dinner, or your tailgates at high school games or college games, your college football watch parties right there with Bojangles. They've got those great hand-breaded chicken tenders and the 7 great dipping sauces that go with it perfectly. Also, on your way to work or school Monday, or if you're just out grabbing breakfast this weekend, head to your local Bojangles to get that pork chop griller. Back for a limited time. You've missed it. It has missed you. It is the pork chop griller at Bojangles. It's bow time.
And our friends at Odie's Tavern, if you're looking for live music, they have got it tonight. Of course, college football all day tomorrow and incredible food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it for almost 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, great sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, fantastic burgers, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light, and don't forget about those Odie's famous cup cocktails. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. 2 locations, the newest the newest Edgewood original location in Crestline. It's Odie's Tavern.
Prime time tomorrow night, Miami and Florida State in Tallahassee. Mike Norvell on his team responding to the upset loss at Virginia.
For us, I mean, the mindset, the buttons have been pressed. I can tell you. I mean, every person sitting on that had to sit on that plane Friday night after that game. Everybody's feeling a sort of way. But you can have your feelings, but we're going to sit there and we're saying these are the things that absolutely have to get corrected. You get them done. And that or will not be good if I'm not seeing that progression for whatever individual it is. And so, because I believe in what these guys have done, I believe in the position they put themselves in, and I'm excited for them. And so, nobody likes coming off of a loss. I mean, especially a game that we felt, in it, before it, I mean, even after, that game was there for us. But you know what? We earned that loss, and it sucks to say it. It sucks to have to go through it. But now what do you do with it?
So they beat Alabama. They beat 2 nobodies. Then they lose to Virginia. that team quit last year. They did. They were 2-10. If they lose this game this weekend, what happens to Florida State? Where do they go? What do we make of them at this point? They have that win over Alabama, yes, but then all of a sudden they're 3-2, and
I mean, Castellanos is a very vocal guy, and so we're going to see some of his leadership and his ability to maybe keep this team together. It is a completely different team, though, when you look at the transfer portal and how many guys Norvell brought in, going from 12 wins to 2 wins to back to what seems like a top 25 team. But a couple of things I brought up yesterday. Florida State has lost 6 consecutive games to ACC opponents. That is absolutely insane. If they are to beat Miami, a top 5 team, it will be the highest ranked team they've beaten again since they played Auburn for the national championship when Jameis Winston was a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, insane. Can I play the other side of it? What if they beat Miami? Because listen to this. If they beat Miami, now they're a 1-loss team, conference loss. Now, if they lose to Miami, 2 conference losses, that's going to be tough to dig out of that hole even in the ACC for them. But if they beat Miami, listen to this. They host Pitt the next week. They're at Stanford, who is terrible. Bye week, they host Wake. They're at Clemson, the most winnable that game has been in a long time, going to Clemson. They host Virginia Tech. They're at NC State, who's not been good. And they're at Florida, who may have fired their coach by then. Buddy, if they can get through this game, now I still say, I said it after the Bama game, and I'm standing by it. I think they're more of a 9-3, 8-4 team. Even after the Bama game, I didn't think this was going to be like a top 5 Florida State team. But I will say I'm going to have to eat some crow if they can get through this Miami game, because the remainder of that schedule is not challenging for them.
Yeah, and my point, I'm bringing this up, and you lead it right into it. If Florida State does win this game, remember when we get to Selection Sunday, they may be able to lose another game. But if Florida State's 10-2 and Alabama's 10-2 at the end of the year, the committee...
Is Florida State a 10-2 conference champion? Because that makes it automatic. But if they're not,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now we've got 10-2. Yeah. They beat Alabama head to head. Could that be one of the reasons why Alabama gets left out? Because I can't put Florida State in, or don't want to put Florida State in if they're not ACC champions. But I can't put Alabama in if they're both 10-2.
Well,
and almost the same way with Miami. If Miami's not ACC champions and they're 10-2, and I can't put Florida State in if they beat Miami, you know what I'm saying? So Florida State could block a couple of 10-2 teams that may be deserving.
Who's Alabama's loss?
I mean, they've got a lot of ranked teams coming up.
They do, but I think that's an important question.
Could be Oklahoma.
Let's call it Missouri.
Could be Missouri.
All right, it's Missouri and then Bama. See, I'm trying to thread this needle for you because that's one conference loss. Alabama's probably in Atlanta, even if their only loss is Missouri.
Yep. So now as a committee, are you hand-tied to put Florida State in at that point?
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough spot to be in if Florida State's not the ACC champion.
Yeah. So if I'm the committee, I'm hoping Florida State gets waxed this
They haven't admit yet.
Yeah, or either goes on to win the ACC. One more thing to do before we get to the top of the hour here, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson LT.
205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. I got the procedure done 2003. I had the 2200 vision. After the procedure, I have 2015 vision. I still have that right now. Better than 2020. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
I said this yesterday. I'll say it again here. LT, over the course of our 16 years together, Bobby Petrino, not counting anything Rams, Bobby Petrino, probably his biggest love on the show as far as supporting a coach.
I mean, I think it's been taken out of context, but sure.
They used to in the radio days, used to call it the, what was it, the Ark and Lance Taylor backs?
Yeah.
when you were so big on Petrino?
Yeah. So I defend Sark every time on this show when these guys take shots at him. This has been a tough year so far because I don't think it's just an arch problem. I think they've got something that's missing right now at Texas, and they may go play their best game of the year this weekend. But if they don't, and the betting public is correct, and Florida ends up beating this game, a lot of questions are going to be asked of Sark, who now all of a sudden is looking very, very human at a program that has all the resources. Here's Sark talking just about how tough this conference is now, with a road trip to Florida and then Red River on the horizon?
I've been saying this, I don't think there's not a game on anybody's schedule in our conference where you're just like, hey, you know what? Nobody really needs to tune into this one because we know what's going to happen. I think everybody better buckle up every Saturday in our conference, and we've got 8 straight conference games, and it's going to take a high level of play week in and week out to perform at a high level, because there just are no gimmies. There just aren't, and there's too many good players, there's too many tough environments you have to play in, and there's too good a coaching, and so. I don't know about favorites or not right now. I just know I just watched enough this weekend to where, well, you better be ready to play, or you're going to be behind 14 and then you're scrambling trying to play catch up. And it doesn't matter who you're playing against.
Now, Brooks sent out yesterday on our social media at Next Round Live, the most talented rosters, the best rosters in college football. And you can see all the content that's sent out at Next Round Live. And when you start looking at teams that have these rosters that are built with all these 5 and 4 stars, these guys that have the best of the best, Texas is in the conversation, right?
Oh yeah,
got to be.
Yeah, Texas got a top 5 roster.
And you start looking, you say to yourself, who's underachieving? Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon are your top 5. LSU, Clemson, at number 7.
There's your answer.
A&M, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan, Florida is 12. Auburn is 13th, the 13th most talented roster, according to 24/7 Sports. Auburn, Florida, Clemson,
Notre Dame.
Okay,
Notre Dame a little bit, yeah.
I know that you and Forrester think that Auburn is going to beat Georgia coming off this bye. But if we play it the other side and Georgia does what they typically do to Auburn and they win this game by double digits, do you guys believe Hugh Freeze makes it to Monday? Because I think it's going to be a huge storyline going into that game.
So double digits, now you're 0-3 in the SEC.
Yep.
I do think we won't be in costumes yet. It's not Halloween, but I think we would need to be on Hugh Freeze watch at that point. Yeah, I'm not going to say there's no way he makes it, Lance, but I think you'd have to be on watch at this point. I finally found an Auburn fan the other night that had not that the first thing he didn't say to me was, I'm done with this guy. Like, I don't know how many Auburn fans I have had say to me, I am done with this guy. After, I think that the tipping point for him was Texas A&M. I think that was the tipping point for Hugh Freeze. The manner in which they lost that game, how inept they looked offensively, and starting 0-2 in the conference again.
Yeah, it's hard for me to phrase this correctly, so I'm going to try. And if I don't do it correctly, then I apologize in advance. Hugh has a health issue also that's going on. And there could come a situation where he decides to step away from football, maybe if things aren't going right, if he doesn't feel like he can give 100% to the program. Could you see that scenario happen someday?
I guess the frustrating thing, if you're an Auburn fan, is why would you not make that decision before you commit to the season?
Well, I think, you and listen, I don't know. I don't know how Coach Freeze is with his health right now. I know he's battled it. And he's battled it without talking about it a lot. And it'll be interesting to see at the end of the year, even, regardless of what happens on the field, end of the year this year, just where he is in that and what he wants to do. I'm going to be wrong on this. I'm pulling for Hugh, and maybe this thing flips around, and maybe it flips next week. But just imagining Auburn have to reset again.
Yeah. Well, and the part of the problem is if you start 0-3 in the conference, Missouri's staring at you the next week, and that's a good Missouri team. I mean, it's at Jordan-Hare, which helps, but at some point, being at Jordan-Hare when fans get beat down, that quits being the home field advantage that it can be. The one reason that now Scott thinks he's been misquoted here. I'm going to let Scott chime in here. Scott, your feeling about Auburn, Georgia is what?
I have been misquoted.
Okay. All right.
My bad.
No. What's the quote?
I just said that I would not be shocked
Okay.
if Auburn beat Georgia. I'm not
Okay.
calling for the upset,
Yeah.
but it would not surprise me.
Now, I think Jim is calling the upset. Are you calling the upset, Jim?
I did back in the summer. I'm not going to shy away from that.
Okay. All right.
I think he's trying to set a landmine.
Who, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just-
always confusing with
Yeah,
him.
it is
I never
very
know. I
confusing.
never know.
It isn't. It's
Okay.
just.
When he used to be pure, Tyler, back before you were probably still in high school.
I mean, Georgia.
It was so good.
I know.
Georgia. Something's wrong with Georgia, guys. This is a different looking team.
What do you expect Georgia does to Kentucky Saturday? I mean, just
I
give me
don't
how
know.
you think that game plays out.
I don't know. I'm
What
dying to find out.
Well, yeah, but based on what you
Well,
think of
there's-
Georgia right
I don't
now.
know who it is. There's a guy on TikTok that took two situations, and I didn't notice it in the game, but he's spot on this. He took two clips from the game.
Yeah.
And one of them was a swing pass out to the edge, and Alabama had it covered up, and it was in front of the Alabama bench.
That was the third down. Georgia's going right to left, so it's fourth quarter. It was like 3rd and 4 or 5, and they lost 4 or 5.
All
Yeah.
I'm saying, this guy points it out. He's like, Alabama makes the play, and there's like 3 Alabama players there, and
Yeah.
they make the tackle, and it's right in front of the Alabama bench, and they stand over the Georgia guy who's down on the ground, and then he points out 3 other Georgia guys going back towards the huddle or towards their sidelines, and not one of them running over there to help their guy up or to push the Alabama guys off. That's not Georgia football. I don't want to sound like the film guy, but guys, that's not it. That's not. I'm trying to do the film guy now, Brooks. But guys, that's not it. You look at that on tape, and that's not what Kirby Smart has built at Georgia. And I want to see if they come back with a little nastiness this week against Kentucky. Because if not, then they turn around and go to Jordan Hare, where they'll get a handful of nastiness.
Yeah.
A desperate Auburn team.
Well,
That's just my point.
These Kentucky teams that have hung with Georgia over the years are better Kentucky teams than this. This is easily the worst team in the SEC right now. So if they hang with Georgia at all, it is alarming.
Let's talk more about that game coming up in our Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3. You can play the games at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. We'll do that when we come back on the other side of the show that's brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club, where Brownie says everything is looking so spectacular out
It
there.
is. It's in great shape right now.
And they have got memberships, whether it's the golf membership or the social membership, that fit everyone. Maybe you relocated to retired. Inverness, great place to network. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Childcare is also a big plus. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. They've even got a vineyard club. Best days happen there. To take a tour of this club, call Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you, 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608, or online, iccalabama.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show, and a couple of times throughout, I've gotten a text that says, "Stop bringing up you're being mean to Lance." So ixnay on the Amsray talk.
You gave him 13 minutes
Wait,
just to
who
say
said
that.
I just have a friend that says, "Are you bringing up the Rams?" I was like, "I didn't bring up the Rams."
No,
I
you
did
opened
to
the
start
show.
the show.
Now, did you pick the Rams yesterday?
Fuhrman did. I did say on the show, people were saying that I said because they were so banged up, the 49ers, that it would be an easy win for the Rams. I thought Brown said that, but I
said it jokingly.
I was wearing it on social media last night. People were posting that Lance is going to kill you tomorrow.
Officially the only person that went out and bought a ticket. You've never done this before on any team in your life for the Rams to win the NFC.
I thought they were going to win it.
Yeah. We had to buy it away from you.
Yeah, Lance
and
did
the only
that.
time you were...
Did they win it?
Well, they did, but the only reason you sold is because they had lost back-to-back games.
I did feel bad. Yeah, I did feel bad. But I was trying to make money when
Well,
I
no,
originally did it.
I don't think you felt bad. I think you thought the Rams were trending in the wrong direction.
No,
at
I
that
wanted
point.
to make money when I bought the ticket because you had convinced me that the Rams were going to win it that year. And I was like, it looks like they are. And the odds are good. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm going to buy the Rams ticket. Then it turned into a good bit as he kept losing. And then I made a couple $100. I forget what it was. Was it 200, 100?
At that point, we had wiped a couple of stakes, and then I gave you a couple $100 too.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, it was well worth it. It was a great buy for me.
Yeah, because you ended up winning the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Nice. Who else could buy a Super Bowl? Except Jimmy Landmine. Our friends at Champy's bring you the final hour of the show. We're about to get these guys pick three, but we want to talk about a big stat for Alabama that Bama fans hope to continue. One stat that absolutely continues: every time you go to Champy's Chicken Highway 119 in Alabaster, you're going to get a great meal. Sterling has made that virtually a guarantee for you for over 10 years, right there at the same location on 119 in Alabaster. The chicken's brined overnight. It's cooked to order. You've got the hand-cut chicken fingers. You've got the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and you've got everything right there for you at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. Go see Sterling and the crew. Great for happy hour. Great to take to the tailgate, to Bryant Denny, and so much more. champyschicken.com. All right, here's the stat. Kalen DeBoer talking about Alabama with 0 turnovers through 4 games. And Alabama fans also texting and tweeting me to stop bringing this up. But
we got to do a show at some point, right?
But it's a fact.
Yeah.
And Kalen DeBoer talked about it this week.
You haven't turned it over through the first 4 games. Just what do you think has led to the success in ball security, just overall on offense?
Being intentional. Repetitions in ball security circuit that we do every single day. Showing our players. We showed clips of during the bye week of other teams losing games and moments where, just a little bit of the elbow not being tight enough to the rib cage, or, even a player having it high and tight, but it just not being tight enough, locking the wrist, and, technically doing the things just on such a high level all the time, and, being real truthful and showing times in practice or showing times in games, where there's a time or two where those fundamental things aren't done perfect. So it's being intentional. It's being intentional on running to the ball defensively to cause those turnovers too. And so it's effort, it's fundamental, and I think our guys are really understanding that you win and lose games because of those things. And it's one of those things that was one of our 3 keys to victory was winning the turnover margin. We did that.
I'm going to say the quiet part out loud here and see if you guys agree. How much better is Ty Simpson at quarterback right now than Jalen Milroe was?
Well, now, if you just go year over year, Jalen Milroe was thought to be the best quarterback in the nation at this time last year, going into this specific game we're talking about.
That is a fact.
So now we've seen the whole Jalen Milroe painting now, so we know.
Yeah, but you're talking about at this point last year.
If we were doing a show 365 days ago, we would be talking about guys. Vandy, forget Vandy. I mean, can Milroe win the Heisman?
We actually did that show.
Is Alabama going to win the national championship?
Go back and watch it on YouTube.
You can. It's right there.
But the Milroe experience was so up and down. And you're right. I mean, a lot of people did come out and they said, hey, this is going to be the number 1 guy. But I can guarantee you Ty is not going to have the inconsistencies. I mean, you look at the last 3 games and say what you want about the competition. Georgia is included. 65 of 84, 77% completion percentage, 884 yards, 9 touchdowns, and no picks.
He's been the picture of consistency.
Yeah. I mean, Joel Klatt said he's the best quarterback in the SEC right now. Now, 3 weeks ago, he scoffed at me. Yeah. But
if you go back to listen to Monday Morning Live with Lugs, he explains how the fact that Ty Simpson gets under center so much and the ability to do the play action, the way he runs the play action, much like A.J. McCarron used to do, by the way. Yeah. One of the, if not the greatest Alabama quarterback of all time. The way he would get under center and then was so good at the play action, it opens up so many easy throws or sometimes runs.
It's funny. I don't know how much of the Monday night game you watched with the Dolphins and the Jets, but Miami, because of Tua, takes very few snaps under center. It's just not their thing. But Orlovsky was talking about the same exact thing. He and Riddick were talking about how the under center snaps help their play action game so much and help their run game so much. Same exact thing in the Ryan Grubb offense. Who's the best quarterback in the country right now?
Best quarterback in the country right now, I would say.
We're talking about for college football?
College football, not the NFL.
For NFL.
No, it's college football. Best quarterback in the country.
Because right now who's making themselves future money every time they play? Ty Simpson is.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, look.
He looks like an NFL quarterback.
If I'm going to be consistent, my guys I would invite are Trinidad Chambliss. They are Ty Simpson. They are Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza.
Sawyer, Dunaway accuses me of Sawyer Robertson. Love the numbers the kid's putting up.
I love Sawyer Robertson.
He is stacking numbers on numbers.
You love
on
some
numbers
too. It's a numbers game.
Well, dude, he's played 5 games, Jim, and he's thrown 17 freaking touchdowns. That's a number.
Look, he's a really, really good quarterback, but he's in a very friendly offense.
And would you say Auburn's defense? I think we've established Auburn's defense is dang good, and they had very little answer for him in week 1. Ty Simpson is in that group. The weird thing is,
for sure,
I just asked Lance, the best quarterback in the country, and the first name he mentioned is a D2 transfer that we didn't even think was going to play this year.
Right.
Just shows you how unpredictable this whole thing is. But the fact that Ty Simpson's in this discussion.
Yep.
Hey,
so there you go for the Auburn fans who think we only landmine Auburn. Ty Simpson, most consistent quarterback in the country.
Right.
Alabama, 0 turnovers so far. There's a lot of landmines thrown out right there.
If Vanderbilt does win this game, though,
I'm not coming to work Monday. I
Monday off?
I admire you coming.
No, do you? I mean, can you
I admire
imagine
you being here today.
Can you imagine the conversation? Could at that point then we have a Diego versus Fernando national championship?
Vandy, Indiana.
Yeah. That sounds like that is a Saturday Night Live wedding skit.
Diego and Fernando.
Do you know how many teams have 0 turnovers through 4 or 5 games? One of the teams has played 5.
Yeah, there are 4 teams.
Nope. I've only got 3 now.
There's only 3
for no interception.
There's only one Power 5. This is 0 turnovers. Period.
Yeah, you're right.
I gave it earlier this week. I think it involves UConn.
Yeah, it's UConn and Temple are the other two. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Only
I didn't
one Power 4. You're
only
right.
one Power 4 is Alabama. So I mean, the fact they haven't turned it over. If just saying that didn't drive home the point, the fact that nobody else in the Power 4 has done it at this point.
Oh, and they'll probably turn it over Saturday.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, the
Al
odds
Michaels was trying to, jinx freaking Matt Stafford. They haven't. San Francisco hadn't had an interception since last November, and I'm like, shut the hell up.
For those watching, that's the Amsray again. And on Monday, if Vandy wins, we won't be talking about the Ides either.
It's a little more difficult.
The show's brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus, Sleep Home Alabama. Sneaky feeling.
Sleeper pick, who we got?
That West Virginia keeps it inside a very large number tonight in Provo. Woof.
That is Dunaway's sleeper pick tonight. It is brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus. 5 locations throughout the state for the O'Neill brothers. Woody and Joe, fantastic guys. Birmingham, Trustful, Pelham, Foley, Troy. Right now, you can get Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. A lot of people need the sleep study. You're not getting that proper 8 hours. You wake up tired and groggy. Get the sleep study done. You don't want to do it away from the house. Guess what? You don't have to. No lab, no insurance, just easy-to-wear fingertip devices, clinically validated, that connect to your smartphone, complete with a physician's interpretation of your results. For more information, sleephomealabama.com, $199 home sleep test from our friends at CPAP Plus.
By the way, and we're just watching Pat McAfee here from Tuscaloosa. You all saw who the guest picker is. Alabama fans are upset about this because of his
Theo Von's dating Diego's mom.
Exactly. Well, did they ever go on the date?
They have not yet. No.
Who is the
Theo Von?
Theo Von's the guest picker.
They struggle with the Alabama guest picker. I don't know why. I do know why. I mean, there's not. Outside of the sports world, not terribly obvious.
You think he washes his hair for the appearance tomorrow?
He's excited to meet Nick Saban's. Got an S on the end of it every time he says Sabans.
Oh, does he call him Sabans?
Oh, God, I hope he does. I hope he does prod Nick like Shane Gillis did.
I don't know if I get to hug Nick Sabans. I'll go by the rules. I'll buy whatever the rules are, but I'd love to hug Nick Sabans.
He calls him Sabans?
Sabans, there's an S on the end of it.
Do you think Nick Sabans, though, looks around like McAfee right now, running around in this USA tank top?
Yeah.
You think he's like, what in the hell has happened to college football?
What am I doing? I used to be coaching. Yeah. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, a national firm with Southern roots, headquartered in Birmingham for more than 24 years. They've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. Theo Von would call them Shannara's. Shannara's has recovered more than $2 billion. $2 billion. They now not only handle personal injury claims that you're aware of, but also claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Shannara.com. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com.
Pick three, it's time for the pick three. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3.
Before we jump into our pick 3, let me tell you about the pick 6 from our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. It is back, the ultimate meal for 2. 2 entrees, 2 sides, 2 drinks, only $19.99. You can pick between the boneless wings, any of the 26 sauces and seasonings, spicy, sauced, grilled, crispy chicken dippers, hand-smashed, double-stacked all-American cheeseburgers with sides of fries, tots, potato wedges. Pick 6 meal for 2 at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Drop into one all weekend long throughout the state of Alabama for all of your football action.
Okay, and the standings again for those in the back that are leading the way. Forrester and Brooks, back row, 9-6, 8-7. Who let them play the games? than me and LT, and then Brown's a couple of games out of first place like the Guardians were until they came back and won the division. So maybe Brown will get hot here the second half of the season.
And then lose it in the postseason?
Brownie, why don't you start us off with the games that you have?
I got 3 dogs. 3 dogs here, Jim. You had 3 road dogs, right?
I had 3 home dogs.
Oh, 3 home dogs. I got a road dog mixed in mine. I'm going to take Purdue plus the 9.5. They play Illinois coming off that big win against USC. One thing I didn't see a whole lot of from Illinois was defense, so I think you'll get some points in this game, which will get Purdue inside the number of 9.5. I've got Cal as they're catching 3.5 at home against Duke. Duke coming across country, giving 3.5 points to Cal. And then I like Wake Forest against Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. Wake catching 6.5. Don't forget our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings, BWW. Those are my 3 dogs.
The only one that was not on my list of games here was the Purdue game.
Oh, how many games you got over there? How many you got?
I don't like your Purdue. I got my 3. I've got Cal plus 3.5. I got Florida plus 4.5. I got Wake Forest plus 6.5, and I got Alabama minus 10.5. That's my parlay tomorrow.
So the only favorite you took was Bama? Was that the only favorite I heard?
Yes, another landmine.
That is such a like when you were taking money in Tuscaloosa, that was such a Tuscaloosa play right there. A bunch of underdogs. Bama's a double-digit favorite. Oh, I'm on them.
Speaking of which, I have got nothing but favorites.
Look out.
What has happened? The world is upside down.
I absolutely love Texas A&M minus the 15.5 against Mississippi State. I like Nebraska minus the 11.5. It's been a really good Nebraska season, but that Michigan loss still kind of hovers around, but I think that they bounce back in a big way against Michigan State. And then I like Alabama minus the 10.5.
It's 2 weeks in a row you've been on the Tide.
Vanderbilt, yeah.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I hope you have them dialed in. Should go back to the LT shot. Should be noted that I'm on the other side of that. Upset alert. I have Michigan State plus the 11.
I think Lance told you when you said, I think he said it's a good drawing.
Yeah, good drawing.
But
good drawing. If you... let me take a picture of these, LT, because I know you like to take my plays and occasionally fade them. In my little office pool, you should know that I'm only 20 games below 500.
You're 20 below?
Yeah. Now we have to pick 25, 26 games
against
a week.
The spread, right?
Against the spread, yeah. And I'm 20.
That's pretty excessive.
I'm 20 games below 500.
Yeah. Pretty excessive.
I tell you, it's a really
That's
tough.
almost a whole week of losing.
Yeah.
It's a very, very tough week.
This is a tough board this week?
To me, yeah. Very, very difficult.
All right. More pick 3 as we roll on. Brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. You say, well, what's the deal? Can we play 3 games somewhere? Yes, you can. Just like we're playing in our own little competition. You can go and try to win a big prize at nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, and our friends at Breakline. You go to nextroundlive.com all the way up until 11 o'clock on Central Time on Saturday, up to kick time. And you pick 3 games right there. We've got a set of games with a set point spread that you can pick right there. If you go 3-0, you get into the drawing. If you go 2-1, then good job, but it doesn't do anything for you. 1-2, 0-3. And listen, you don't have to play every week. It's not a cumulative score like in our contest. You just have to go 3-0 this week, and you get a ball in the bucket. More balls in the bucket, better chance to win. At the end of the year, we'll draw 1 ball out and give away a grand prize. Thanks to our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings and our friends at Breakline. And you get bragging rights of being the pick 3 winner, too. 1 ball is all it takes. So you don't have to play 1 week and go 3-0. More balls, better chance. Play every week. NextRoundLive.com. NextRoundLive.com brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings and our friends at Breakline. All right, some games we haven't talked about yet. There is something interesting to me about Wisconsin and Michigan. Not that I think Michigan can lose the game to Wisconsin. I just want to see the next step from not only Justice Haynes, former Alabama running back who's been fantastic, maybe could run his way into the Heisman conversation, but I want to see what Bryce Underwood does against this Wisconsin defense that I think is ripe for the taking.
Yeah, Wisconsin, not a good team. And you look at the last couple of outings, they lose by 24 to Alabama. They lose by 17 to Maryland. Last time they lost 3 straight by 17-plus points was way back in 1989. It looks like Michigan's going to be able to do this to them. Michigan's scoring defense, again, really good, giving up less than 18 points per game.
Yeah, but Wisconsin's offense is really good.
Yeah, 6-2, their last 8 against the spread. And you mentioned that Wisconsin offense, 109th in scoring offense at only 20.7 points per game. Here's what's crazy. And I think we all agree when Fickell made the decision that ultimately was going to decide his fate was what?
When he went to the offensive coordinator. Phil Longo. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't say his name for some reason.
Yeah, so he is exactly at 500 right now in his Wisconsin career. I think he's 15-15. He is 8-0 when the Badgers have a 100-yard rusher. They have gone 9 straight games without a 100-yard rusher.
Wow.
Why don't you stick to your identity, things you know? Wisconsin football.
Used to ask a question, would Wisconsin have a 200-yard rusher this week?
They had the 100-yard rusher at halftime back in the day.
9 straight games without one. This will be 10 straight games. They're not rushing for over 100 yards on this Michigan team.
Yeah, we talked about it with some of the Wisconsin fans when we did the show from Galette's over there for Bama, Wisconsin. And they are frustrated. They've gotten away from their identity. And it's just, it hasn't worked. It does feel like when Nebraska, and I think one of you mentioned this to the Wisconsin fan, when Nebraska went to Bill Callahan. And Bill Callahan wanted to throw it all over the field. It was different than Nebraska football. It felt different than anything they'd ever seen. But you know what it didn't do? It didn't win enough games. And Fickell hasn't done that either. I don't know if they'll go to Bielema or somebody like that, or the Bielema route, somebody like Bielema, not to Bielema, but somebody like Bielema to get back in that run game. I don't know, but it ain't working right now.
It is not working. Interesting matchup in the Big 12. Keep in mind, if you're not paying attention to Big 12 standings, that likely is a one-bid league. And 2 losses in conference, by the way things are shaking out, may be enough to keep you out of the championship game. Cyclones, Sun Devils, each are 2-0. BYU, Houston, Texas Tech, and Cincinnati right now, all with no losses. So 6 teams with 0 in the loss column. And then the rest of the league right now, other than Colorado and West Virginia, have 1 loss. Colorado, West Virginia got 2 losses. It's going to be hard for them to climb back into this. Important elimination game, Kansas State and Baylor, if you're going by the second Big 12 loss, could knock you out of the Big 12 race, especially this early.
Yeah, and I thought, Kansas State, and they did bounce back against UCF, and I think UCF is probably a house of cards in year 1 under Scott Frost, and I thought this would be Kansas State getting everything back on track. I do think they beat Baylor, but I don't feel great about it. Probably a shootout. Should be a fun game.
It's in Waco.
It is. Again, I talked Sawyer Robertson. This guy leads the nation in yards per game. He's thrown for 17 touchdowns. So Kansas State's defense is going to have their hands full. It's one of the best passing attacks. Weird that Dave Aranda is your head coach, a defensive guy, and you're known for your passing attack.
Also weird that you are so heavily on Sawyer Robertson, but on Tuesday you picked Kansas State as your upset alert.
Did pick Kansas State as my upset alert. I think they're playing better football. That was it. That was an impressive win at Central Florida. Can I talk about one of those other teams in the Big 12 real quick?
You can.
Cincinnati, Iowa State. Interesting game for Cincinnati. I don't know how you guys see this game going, but in terms of Big 12 schedules, their schedule opens up a little bit after this. They don't have to play Texas Tech primarily, who you think is the best team in this conference.
Yeah.
They get to host BYU. They do have to go to Utah, which would be a tough road trip. But if Cincinnati wins this Iowa State game, this team's got to pass.
Let's not forget Scott Satterfield's bunch had ball in hand, week 1 against Nebraska on that Thursday night, and every opportunity to win that game. On the other side, Matt Campbell's just done an incredible job. I mean, before last year, Iowa State, in their entire program history, had 1 6-0 start to a season. Now they're looking at back-to-back 6-0 starts. And they are 9-1 straight up in their last 10 road games. So not only is Iowa State getting it done in Ames, they're winning on the road in the Big 12.
Yeah, that is 2 unbeaten teams, 2-0 and 1-0 as far as that Big 12 race is happening. Do you believe in the ACC that it too is a one-bid league this year?
Yes, do.
Right now, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Duke, all 2-0. Louisville, Cal, and Virginia Tech all unbeaten. Now, Miami and North Carolina and SMU have yet to play a conference game, so they too have 0 losses. So we're still young into this. But contenders like Clemson are already 0-2 in the league, and Florida State is 0-1 in the league. When you look at that league with Georgia Tech not playing this week, I guess you look at Virginia and Louisville this week as saying winner of that game is a contender.
Oh, yeah, I would think so, 100%. Yep.
Do you have a feel of that one there in the land of thoroughbreds?
I had given Louisville up for dead last week. Was it 17?
They were down 17.
Yeah, they were down 17 to Pitt in Pittsburgh and just looked dead in the water. I gave up on that game, took it off my TV, and I looked like An hour later, I'm like, holy crap, Louisville has come back to lead this game. What happened?
You've got two top 25 scoring offenses with Louisville averaging 38.2 points per game, and Virginia's got the 8th best scoring offense right now in the FBS at over 45 points per game, and it didn't really look flukish. Last week, they turned it over 3 times and still scored 46 points in a win over Florida State. So, man, I think this is going to be a tremendous game. I lean Louisville probably wins, but should be a heck of a game.
A heck of a turnaround by Tony Elliott. I mean, this is a guy, keep in mind, his first 3 years at Virginia, he was probably on the hot seat this year. It may still be. I don't know. That Florida State win probably got him off. But 3-7, 3-9, 5-7. He's still 15-24 overall at Virginia. It looked like it was going nowhere fast, and they have flipped the script pretty quickly there.
Yeah. Hey, we spent all summer trying to go, who's going to be the new Indiana? And by the way, Indiana is still the new Indiana.
Yeah, they're still Indiana.
They're 2-0 in Big Ten play. And Illinois was the pick. They're now 1-1 with a loss to Indiana. But here comes Maryland, 1-0. Home game this week. You see them up here. I like the points in them. I don't know if they can beat Washington. Washington coming west to east, which I'm always told is the toughest to do. And Washington coming off of a physical loss at home to Ohio State that seems to set up good for Mike Locksley and the Terps.
Look, Damon Williams, though, is the real deal, and I think Jed Fish has got the quarterback that he really wants. Maryland, it's going to be strength versus strength. Maryland's defense only allowing 10.7 points per game, 7th in the FBS, against the number 13 scoring offense for Washington at 43.2 points per game. Both of these teams have been bad against the number. 2-4 their last 6 for Washington, 2-5 their last 7 for Maryland. I'm kind of against you here. I thought about playing this and laying Washington. I think it's the way I would play it if I played it. Malik Washington's been really good, your freshman quarterback for Mike Locksley. Just wait for him to have a bad game.
Dunaway, you were on the road in Athens, so I don't suspect you got to watch a ton of Washington and Ohio State, but I know you did, Lance. Early on, Washington had the upper hand in that game, and they got down in the red zone twice, had to settle for field goals both times, and you knew then you don't settle for field goals against Ohio State. You got to punch that ball in the end zone and make Ohio State play from way behind. They just weren't able to do that. I didn't leave that game, though, thinking, okay, forget Washington. I felt like Washington accounted for themselves. The late touchdown that made it 24-6, I think, was scored with like 4 minutes to go. So 24-6 probably doesn't tell the entire story in that game.
Yeah, I think Washington's a good team.
I do too. I didn't leave that game thinking, okay, well, we can ignore Washington. I still think they'll factor in.
But I do think that Maryland is much better than we thought. Maryland's almost like the SEC version of Mississippi State.
Very improved. And Mike Locksley needed that to happen. Really good play caller. Got to see him up close and personal during his time in Tuscaloosa. All right. That's our pick 3 brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. So you can play it all the way to nextroundlive.com, at nextroundlive.com, all the way up until kickoff tomorrow. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings and our friends at Breakline. Again, you don't have to play every week. It's a one-off. If you want to play every now and then or just one time, you can do it at Next Round Live. Just got to go 3-0 one time to get into the big drawing. We'll get the picks from the leader and the runner-up. That's Forrester and Brooks coming up in the final segment after Trash, which is in the next segment. The show being brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. That's where all the lines we use at nextroundlive.com comes from.
Indeed we do. Indeed we do. Oh, where that came
from. New batteries for Brown, please.
Yes, I'm about to die. End of the week. MyBookie.ag, code next round is that sign-up code I'm going to tell you about. At MyBookie.ag, you can play all the college football and NFL action. How about some Major League Baseball? Dunaway, I think, was giving us a lean earlier. Did you give us a lean on some of these, Dunaway? Did you give us a lean on any of these series?
I just said I did not want to. I wish they didn't start playing again until Tuesday.
That is, in fact, my lean. I wish we could see these away from a football weekend.
I like Brewers, Yankees, Dodgers, Mariners.
Brewers, Yankees, Dodgers.
I've got a feeling the Mariners are going to win a World Series this
year.
Year.
Really? Lance Taylor with an early Mariners.
Mariners, Brewers in the World Series.
Mariners,
Ichiro guy's pretty good.
Yes. You can play those games as they start tomorrow. Milwaukee favored -156. Toronto favored -127. Philly favored -125. And the closest one in the Mariners. Lance's World Series pick there. Favored by 217. They were -217 in that game. You can play those at mybookie.ag. All the college football action at mybookie.ag, where you continue to find Alabama favored right now over the Vanderbilt Commodores by 10.5. It had crept up to 11 earlier today, but back down to 10.5 for the Crimson Tide right now. The biggest mover on the board, if you believe in these things, the biggest mover on the board, the Florida Gators, now just a 5.5-point home underdog with Texas. That game was up to 7.5 yesterday. All right, you can play all those games at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at mybookie.ag. That's the sign-on bonus that gets you the bet back bonus. Here's how that works. Up to $500. You make your first bet. They cover it up to $500. You lose it, right back into your account. You can play again risk-free on that first bet there at mybookie.ag. That is when you use code next round, signing up at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. mybookie.ag, code next round.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Can you make a case for Deontay Lawson being Alabama's comeback player of the year? Not just because he was injured, but it's off to a pretty good start, I think. I don't have stats to back it up, just watching him play. And I think I heard Kane Womack, the DC, say that they're starting to use, I don't know if it was post-game after Georgia or if it was at the media availability earlier this week, that they're starting to use Deontay in some ways that they were using Jihad Campbell. That Deontay's getting some of that back. Yeah, for a moment, he looked like he'd lost a little bit of his speed, just a step, but he looked more like himself at Georgia.
He's third in tackles right now for Alabama. I don't know who else would be in the mix for if you were doing a comeback player of the year.
Yeah, when you say that, you usually think about injuries.
Yeah.
But if you take that aside, just guys who maybe didn't have the year they thought they were going to have last year and comeback players of the year. I don't know if that is even a category, but it's good to see Deontay because I thought he would be gone by now to the NFL when he first started.
Yeah, I did too. And I think without an injury, he would have been.
Yeah, I do too.
Bray Hubbard is probably...
He's your comeback player of the year this year. He came back from a bad performance.
He is your comeback from week one.
Yeah,
from August to October, he is your comeback player. I just don't know how good this defense is. I don't know where you guys are on this defense.
I can't trust them.
Yeah,
they play so good, but I can't trust them.
And I don't feel great about the offense because there's no balance. Like, I think they're going to get a little bit better with Jan Miller. I think the offensive line is really good.
You got him right there on the bottom line.
They're playing Vanderbilt. Best Vanderbilt team I've ever seen.
Yeah, me too. Me and you both.
Best Vanderbilt team ever. But this should be – there's so many factors. Home game versus a ranked team. Diego Pavia talking shit. They beat them last week. I mean, just a lot.
It should be an unbelievable atmosphere. I've never said that about a Vandy game in Tuscaloosa.
That's normally when you take the kids.
But this should be an unbelievable atmosphere because it's the first game back at Bryant-Denny Stadium since they had the big win at Georgia.
Yep.
There's only so many of these games.
Game day in town.
Game days in town. Weather's supposed to be perfect. It's a 2:30 kick. It's not too late. It's not too early. There's no reason that this should not be one of the great atmospheres this year.
And this opponent is not sneaking up on the fans. I would hope it's not on the players either, but I know it's not on the fans.
Now, we've already snuffed out a couple of big brands this year already. I mean, before we got into October, Clemson is dead and buried.
Okay.
They have absolutely no shot at coming back. Notre Dame seems like they are dead and buried, right?
Yeah, we've got them on that monitor. It's going beep.
Notre Dame didn't die. They still can do this.
I think there are two more brands, massive brands, that are dead if they lose this week. And they're favored in both games. One is Alabama. If Alabama was to lose to Vanderbilt, I think they're dead.
It's going to be tough to overcome. I would agree.
And if Texas,
of course, it is only your one conference loss, but you're saying if you lose to Vandy at home, how are you going to run the rest of the conference? I would agree with you.
And Texas going into Florida, if they lose this game, Texas is done.
That's right. If you're not good enough to beat Florida, how are you going to run the rest of your schedule?
But can you imagine if we had Texas, Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame done the first week of October?
There's one more that's not beep. They're not going to lose this weekend, but
who?
Georgia's.
Oh, no,
Georgia's over here like, man, where are we? We've never been like this. I'm disoriented. What's happening? I got vertigo.
Yeah, I don't know who else we can put in that category. I guess if Florida State lost to Miami,
it'd be tough to come back from that.
Yeah, I mean, because then you've got
two conference losses.
Yep.
Michigan's the name brand that
they ain't losing to Wisconsin.
No, maybe not this weekend. But Penn State's not going to lose to UCLA, but they're a loss away from going in a bad direction.
Anybody else in the SEC that could be done this week? No. I mean, Georgia.
I mean, technically State, but I don't think you have them in right now. That's the problem there.
Yeah, we got like a light schedule in the SEC this week.
Yeah, light schedule national.
But these are trap games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from CBSSports.com. We'll get to those after I remind you this hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Perfect for tailgating. Go by and see Sterling and the crew right there and enjoy unbelievable fried chicken. It's brined overnight. It's juicy to the bone, whether you like white meat or dark meat. I'm the white meat, big breast guy. My wife loves the dark meat. She says, that Sterling cooks the best chicken she's ever tasted. Anytime I'm going past Alabaster, she makes me bring her Champy's chicken. It's part of the marital duties I have to provide her. That and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. We won't get to the list, Tyler. It's just one of them. Hand-cut chicken fingers. It's all at championchicken.com. And our friends at Hemp Hill. If it's not flowing right or running right, Hemp Hill's the people to call.
Yeah, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there awaiting your call. Had a buddy, Mark, reached out yesterday, and he's like, hey, man, I'm about to sell the house. Very interesting. He is moving for the 13th time in 18 years, but he's moving back to a house they once owned before.
Oh, interesting.
But they are going to get everything checked out for whoever's going to be buying the house.
You know the old saying, the 13th move is free.
Is that what they say? It should be. My gosh, movers are expensive. 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Okay, so I forgot what I was setting up. Oh, trap games from CBS Sports. They list Vandy, Alabama as a trap game for Alabama.
I think by definition it's a trap game, but if you know the history of this and what happened last year, it's hard to call this a trap game.
Yeah, if Vanderbilt had lost, let's just say the Virginia Tech game.
Or didn't beat Alabama last year, either one of those things, yeah.
Or both, but if they're sitting at 4-1, they're not ranked, and, Alabama won that game last year 40-35, I think you could categorize it. But again, DeBoer typically wins these matchups with the ranked teams, and game day is going to be there. Like, how this could be a trap game.
This is anything but a trap game.
You know where the trap game is? Next week in Columbia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, that's a top 25 opponent, though.
No,
but it's 11 a.m. It's Missouri.
I know.
You're feeling really good about yourself.
Who will be there for that game? Like, if Alabama does what they need to do, then you're going to have a top 6-7 team against a top 15-16 team, both undefeated. Okay.
Yeah. Well, game day can't go back-to-back with Bama. As much as I'd love them to just be the Alabama pregame show.
No, I just know they try to spread the wealth as far as going to campuses they haven't necessarily been to.
Right.
I guess this is Vanderbilt's second time they've ever had game day affiliated with them. But it's almost like game day maybe should have waited one more week and gone to – because I can't remember when they were in Columbia. Can you guys?
Oh, gosh.
It does seem like Tallahassee would have been an easier choice, Brownie.
I know. I don't disagree with you at all. I'm just looking ahead till next week. I don't even know who's on the schedule next week where they might go.
I mean, you got to have a...
I'm telling you, they would have gone to College Station. If State would have beaten, I think they would have planned, let's go to Columbia next week and get Alabama.
Oh.
If you would have had undefeated Mississippi State and undefeated A&M, I think you might have done that.
They might be in Eugene next week. Indiana's at Oregon next week. That's a top 10 matchup. But, I mean, Alabama-Missouri is a top 20 matchup right now. Right now.
I cannot, man. Indiana,
Texas, Oklahoma's next week.
Red River, Red River.
Is that next week? Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're definitely at the Red River.
Yeah, well, let's see if Texas loses.
Never mind, I missed that.
You don't think that hurts if Texas loses?
Yeah, but it's the ABC game, and Indiana-Oregon is the CBS game. I think they would probably go Red River.
Dude, how fascinating is Indiana-Oregon? It's one of the reasons I was supposed to go to the Auburn-Georgia game next week. We're going to be over there at Sky Bar 11-2, and I was just going to stay the entire weekend, and then I started to look at the games, and I'm like,
I know, it's
11 o'clock, Alabama-Missouri, 2:30, Indiana-Oregon. Like, I can't miss these games.
Yeah, 11-2 Sky Bar next Friday, and it's Friday, not Saturday, but we'll be at Sky Bar Auburn next week, 11-2, getting you ready for Georgia down to Auburn. Hopefully Georgia survives Kentucky, and that stays as a big game on the calendar for the Dogs and for the Tigers. All right, before we get to the other trap games, Iowa State at Cincinnati, trap game according to CBS. Texas at Florida, trap game for Texas according to CBS. Miami at Florida State, trap game according to CBS for Miami. And Texas Tech at Houston, trap game for Texas Tech according to CBS.
I don't want to kill any more traditions we have in college football, but you know what you don't have in the NFL?
Trap games?
Trap games.
Trap games.
And I think we're getting to the point now, like, you bring these games up, you think Iowa State going into Cincinnati doesn't realize how good Cincinnati is?
No.
Like, I mean, the trap game was, when you were a 17-point favorite and you thought you would just go through the motions. I don't know how you can realistically do that week in, week out now in college football, especially in the Power Four.
A little bit of Texas Tech at Houston has a trap game feel to it.
But Houston's undefeated.
But nobody's giving Willie Fritz's team. They look so bad against Oregon State. Little trap game feel to it right there. All right, let's get to trash. It's brought to you today in part by our friends at Alabama Power Brownie. Juice us up.
Juice us up with Alabama Power, Jimmy D. I will do just that. One thing Alabama Power wants to do is make sure you are paying what you think you need to pay, and you aren't getting blindsided by charges that you did not expect. That's why you can always stay on top of your charges at Alabama Power. They've got Rate Advisor, which is like a matchmaker for your rate plan. There's Bill Explainer, which helps explain your bill in plain language. And Energy Assistant, connecting customers with savings, programs, and financial resources when you need it most. Check out the 3 tools right now at alabamapower.com.
Before we get to LT breaking down pregame show for his Rams tonight against the 49ers, which should be an easy win for you guys. I mean, the 49ers have nobody on the roster.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Ouch.
Your impersonation of me's gotten really good. That sounded just like me.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. So cheers to the weekend.
Cheers.
So we start first with the University of Alabama archaeologists have discovered an ancient species of crab.
Oh, crab.
Do you want to guess what they named the ancient species of crab?
And it's University of Alabama?
Yep.
I'm going to say it's the...
Hang on.
I'm going to say it's the Saban crab.
Very good, Dunaway.
Is it really? Are you
Why,
kidding
how
me?
about that?
The Costa Clopluma nicosebedine. They call it the Saban crab for short.
I was just thinking I was going to go to the pachyderm.
Yeah, a team led by University of Alabama researchers have discovered several ancient crab and shrimp fossils from central Alabama.
Looking at it, they should have called it the wimp crab.
Oh, that's awful. Well, back in the 70s, 80s, nobody wanted to be named after crabs, right?
No.
How about that? The Saban crab.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll serve
Officially
that up.
made it.
Wonder if they'll serve that up to him tomorrow.
Are you guys crabs fans?
I like crab. I like crab meat, stuffed crab. Now, crab legs, a lot of work for a little payoff. I like the meat.
You're all of a sudden a little Bubba Crab over there. You just really
crab meat.
I like crab meat. I like crab legs.
Yeah, crab legs.
You get a little messy. A lot of work, a little meat.
The crab legs, though, that is a lot of work for a very small payoff. I like crab claws. Fried crab claws,
They are pretty good.
I could eat my weight in those.
Look at that new study of 65 million year old crab and shrimp fossils from central Alabama.
How about that? Yeah.
Funny line about wimp, though, right?
That was a good line. Yes, Jim. I laughed and even did a wimp imitation to give you the affirmation you needed.
I would say I'm not a big fan of crab meat. If I had to choose between crab or shrimp, I would choose shrimp.
Oh, I would pick shrimp over crab. I would agree.
So we've got back-to-back alligator stories here. First one, alligator that roamed Belle Isle for several days has been captured, taken to a safe place. According to authorities, staff members at the Detroit park were alerted to a possible alligator sighting on Friday, September 26th. Now, officials did not visually confirm the presence of the non-native reptile for themselves, but the Department of Natural Resources later received a credible photo with the geolocation data. TNR authorities searched the area, but it was Stephen Hart of Detroit and a bystander who finally captured the alligator on Wednesday. Now, Hart hunted the alligator for 8 hours, tracking it through lagoons before spotting it under a tree. Men used a net to catch it. The alligator has been named Fafnir after the dwarf-turned-dragon in Germanic folklore, according to this report.
Who didn't know that?
Yeah.
I would say this. If they chased it down through swamps and lagoons and everything, if they had just waited, wouldn't it have died here soon? They can't survive a cold Detroit winter, right?
I would not think so.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was actually doing in Detroit. Do we know that, Jeeves?
It's got to be a pet that somebody let out.
There for a Lions game?
It's got to be a pet that someone just abandoned or...
so you let out. You did a better word, abandoned.
Yeah.
Good choice. My vocabulary is not what it should be.
So, next alligator, deputies in Central Florida say 42-year-old man sparked chaos at the county jail after storming in shirtless, holding a live alligator and demanding that officers, quote, release his cousin immediately.
You looking at me? No, you're looking at me. Stop looking at me.
Well,
Are you looking at me?
This kind of looked like he got kicked in the head by a mule. Eyes went curls.
Oh, I think the alligators would run the other way, man.
Yeah.
That would freak you out. Now, witnesses...
No, those aren't real alligators, Lance.
Are you sure?
I'm certain.
The one with the hair in the coffee mug's
No,
not.
that is not real. No.
Yeah.
Witnesses told investigators...
That is Donald J. Gator.
Donald J. Gator.
The man had shown up earlier at a nearby gas station trying to trade the same alligator for a 6-pack of beer. When that failed, I probably would give him a 6-pack of beer for an alligator.
Probably so. That's
When
a good
that
trade.
failed, he reportedly drove straight to jail, burst through the lobby doors, and loudly introduced the reptile as his, quote, legal counsel.
The guy on the right is Chuck Shugator.
Oh.
Gaymar?
When staff asked him to leave, he allegedly slammed the animal on the counter and shouted, "This gator passed the bar," before attempting to climb over the reception desk. Deputies wrestled him down, confiscated the alligator, and charged him with resisting arrest, unlawful possession of an alligator, and trespassing on jail property.
Now, does he really look like this, or he's just doing this for the camera?
They'll never recognize me out in public.
Because, I mean, I've got my defense for this guy, right? I mean, yeah, we're
Your
not.
Honor.
Your Honor. Look at my client. Let's look at him.
Your Honor.
We cannot lock him up, sir. He deserves medical help.
Don't put him in traffic,
I
though.
got an alligator.
A Ryanair flight was diverted after a passenger reportedly tore up in 8 parts of their passport midair. Now, the unusual incident occurred on a flight bound from Milan to London, forcing the crew to make an unscheduled landing in Paris for safety. Now, the flight was carrying holiday makers and business travelers when the disruption unfolded. The passenger not only consumed parts of the travel document, but also attempted to flush the remaining fragments down the aircraft's lavatory. So what I don't get, and I'll continue with the story, but how everybody freaked out so bad. Like, if you want to eat your passport, knock yourself out.
You may be crazy, but you're not impacting me.
Cabin crew followed standard protocol after the passenger's behavior became unmanageable, according to this report. And the unusual act of eating a passport raised concerns about the traveler's state of mind and the potential risk to flight safety. Eyewitness reminisced about the incident in the following manner. Went on to say staff were notified, went to see what was going on at the front of the plane. Suddenly, the whole mood changed. No one on board knew what was going on. These people were acting weird. Pilots diverted the aircraft to Paris, where local authorities boarded and escorted the passenger off the plane. Remaining passengers later continued their journey to Milan on an alternative service. Airlines are trained to respond to disruptive passenger behavior, regardless of its cause. In this case, the act of destroying and consuming a travel document created an unpredictable scenario in the cabin. The diversion was made to ensure the safety of both passengers and crew. I don't understand this. And one passenger described it as, quote, the most terrifying 15 minutes of your life. Just because this guy's...
Well, I guess if somebody starts acting crazy, you don't know what's next. Eating the passport is one thing. Now does he have a bomb?
Now, I have always done
Or a
this,
gun.
and our friend Mike White talks about this, but anytime I board a plane, I am looking for who could become the biggest problem.
That's right.
And then I'm also looking for allies that I think if you need a situation, they could help you out in this situation. But in that, when you see somebody doing that, don't you get your ally and you're like, hey, look, this dude's eating his passport.
Yeah, he's not going to be an ally.
Crazy.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to put him in the headlock and,
Now,
you know.
if he's eating it like George the Animal still ate a turnbuckle, that could be, I could see how that's traumatizing. But if he's just nibbling on it a little bit,
yeah,
I'm assuming it's more George the Animal still. Where like Lance, if you were sitting next to a guy and he grabbed his passport, like that, I mean, you'd be like, okay, we got a problem now. Yeah. We might need to put the plane on the ground here for a second. Or at least.
But I mean, people get up in arms about it. If you wear the wrong hat, I'm sure you guys have seen videos. People are. It's pretty uptight.
It's every man for himself in the air.
I try not to fly. I haven't flown since March. I'm supposed to fly next month in November. I don't like flying because it is stressful. I don't think anybody really likes flying now, do they?
I do not.
You know, I kind of enjoy it. Y'all are amazed that I do.
I haven't thought about it, really. I'm not amazed.
Like, do you find it peaceful?
I just like there's something weird about being in the airport and like this person was in Germany this morning and this person was in LA and it's just this melting pot.
So you like being in the airport?
I don't mind an airport because
the excitement of knowing you're going somewhere.
No.
Normally, if I fly, it's for fun. It's
I'm
not
just
for
saying,
work.
once you get on that tube with all of that nastiness in the tube,
that's not my favorite part.
And everybody hates everybody, and now most of the time your flight attendants aren't even nice.
But all I can think of is it's better than driving this far.
I enjoyed the drive.
But like my last flight was to Boston. You didn't want to drive to Boston.
I did not.
Yeah, so I
didn't get invited.
So I'm sitting there thinking,
if you'd invited me, I would have driven.
This is going to take me 2 hours to get to Boston. It would have been a 20-hour drive.
I'm finally going to SoFi, and I'm not going to drive to SoFi.
No, you can't make that drive.
It would be fun, though. Cross country, you and Maddie, it'd be a fun trip.
Yeah. Woman's Grand Theft Auto session turned into reality when a car being chased by police smashed into her home while she was mid-game. Emma Graves, 44, from Leeds, England, was playing GTA on her PlayStation when chaos erupted just feet from where she sat. Quote, literally couldn't make this up, she said. It was not funny at the time, but it is afterwards.
God, this is so realistic.
I know.
Graves explained that she had been evading police in the game when she suddenly heard, quote, engines revving, screeching brakes, and multiple impacts outside of her flat. She said the tree hit 3 others, tore through mine and my neighbor's fencing, and crashed into the bedroom wall just feet from where I was sitting. The flats physically shook. If I had been even slightly worse, I wouldn't be here to tell you this. Police were shouting at someone to put their hands up and put the weapon down. Fortunately, her mother, who cares for her full time, was not at home. Graves called family members to support her in the aftermath. Police reportedly confirmed that 8 arrests were made following the crash as part of a wider firearms investigation. No charges have been brought as of yet.
As of yet. Probably a key word there.
Yeah. That's all I got.
And that is Trash Today, brought to you in part by our friends at Talladega Super Speedway. Brownie, tell us about Talladega.
877-GO-TO-DEGA. That car there looked like it could have been at Talladega Super Speedway the way they were driving. 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Yellowwood 500 weekend starts 2 weeks from today. I'm sorry. You can reserve your spot in the grandstands and the campground in the infield by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Whiskey Myers, your Saturday concert. The Cool Ray Garage Experience, all right there at Talladega Super Speedway, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
All right, let's go to the back row for our picks. They're number 2 and number 1 in the standings right now. We save them for the end of the show because they're the best so far at picking the pick 3 games. Brooks up first, formerly introduced as Brooks Carter, our social media director. He's back there. He's in second place right now. Your pick 3 brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Brooks, what do you have for us?
I'm going to start with Mississippi State, 5-0 against the spread this year. They have gotten 2 wins for me so far this year. They are a 15.5-point dog.
Wow, you got a trend on them.
Yeah, 15.5-point dog at A&M. I don't think they'll win the game, but I like them to keep it within that number. Michigan, I got them a 17.5-point favorite against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's on the road at the Big House. Wisconsin has been dreadful on offense. I think Michigan found a little something with Bryce Underwood in the run game.
So only 17.5 there. Interesting.
So I'm going to take Michigan. And I like Syracuse as a 17.5-point dog at SMU.
Just in case Lashley's looking at a different job. Interesting play. I like all 3 of those. Very good, Brooks. Now to the leader. He's our leader. Take us to our leader. Forrester, what do you have for us?
Okay, first off, we got to get on the same page with some of these lines.
Oh, there we go.
All right, Michigan was updated this this
So. Yeah, well, I checked it, and it was 17 when I saw it. So I'm playing it at 16.5.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. We got
you get 16. Oh, you're giving 16.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got nothing but blowouts here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Texas Tech, smoke in Houston. Michigan's going to put it on Wisconsin, and Brutus Buckeye is going to wipe out the Gophers of Minnesota.
Let me just tell you, the Wolverine's going to win that battle. I've never seen a more jollier Brutus than that guy right there.
He's very excited.
He is very happy.
It's like a yell.
Man, I saw this video last night of a hyena biting a porcupine.
Yeah.
And that porcupine exploded in his mouth.
Oh. Ooh. A hyena did not survive, did it? So
like the old spurt gum?
Yeah.
Except with
a little more pain.
Yeah.
All right. That is our pick 3 today. Those are the leaders. They're hot. Play them. They're above 500. And we appreciate Buffalo Wild Wings and our friends at Breakline for bringing us. You can go play the games at Next Round Live, at nextroundlive.com, at nextroundlive.com. Go there and make your 3 picks in the pick 3. All right, a new Mystery Fifth Hour coming out soon. We're about to record that right now. And don't forget all the reaction from the weekend. Forrester and Brooks will have that for you on our social media platform at Next Round Live, at Next Round Live. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.